Hey world, hey Dallas, I'm Alvin, and welcome to Tit for Tat, this and that. Today I'm going to be joined by the Short Stack Revolution, and we're going to be talking about discussing this Charlie Kirk uh, shooting and our crazy president Donald Trump, um, white supremacy, um, the what is that foundation? The U.S. whatever they are, what is that Charlie Kirk
Heritage
found
Foundation.
Heritage Foundation.
Hmm.
And right now we have Miss Stevie with Styles by Miss Stevie Daytime, and then we have Deshaun Starling. Bub's going to pop in here in a little bit, and then whoever else from the short stack and anybody else that wants to pop in. Before I go, can y'all hear my? Can y'all? I hear some static, so I don't know if that's me or if that's Deshaun, um, but
Let me
can
see.
y'all hear this? Can y'all hear this fan blowing? Can y'all hear a fan blowing?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. Because when I got back, my air conditioners are out. They done went out. So the
Oh
air
Lord.
conditioner, yeah. So I'm sitting over here in the heat in my house, and I got a fan blowing on me right now. So I didn't know if it was making too much noise. If it does, y'all let me know. The air conditioner technician, he's going to come out tomorrow. I think that's Deshaun status. Deshaun. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you hear
Can you
it?
hear me? Yeah, I can hear static. Somebody got static going in the background.
Wait, hold on. Let me turn this off.
Um,
Turn off. All right.
so,
Do you hear anything now?
uh,
No, not on my end.
yeah, I hear, and also it
Somewhat,
looks like,
yeah. Yeah, a little
yeah, I
bit.
hear. It's just like a little. It's not bad. It's just a little static. It's like,
And
uh,
okay, and also you're gonna hear cars. You're gonna hear that because my this house is right close to the wall. I'm in the
oh,
northeast, so
okay.
you're gonna have dilapidated houses that
Uh
our front yard is not that big.
huh. Uh huh.
So you're gonna hear a lot of zoom and a lot of because we're right by the road. We're right there. That
It
as
looks
well.
like there's something. It looks like there's something wrong with the stream also because I keep freezing and I'm moving really slow. So it looks like
Yes,
it
you
might be something.
are.
Do you see
You
it?
definitely. Yes,
I don't know
a little
what's
bit.
wrong with
It's starting to lag a little bit, but you're still moving. I can still hear you. So
Yeah,
Yeah, look, it's bad. It's bad. I can see it on my end. It's like really bad. I hate
Mercury in retrograde. It's something going on
huh?
out here in New
it's
Jersey.
definitely a retrograde going on.
That's what CTV
Yeah.
was saying.
I wonder.
And did you see the
Hmm,
red moon?
okay, it seems
Mm.
to have stopped. It seems to have stopped now, but uh. So anyway,
I missed it.
yeah, I just got back. There it goes, freezing up. I mean, Lord have mercy. Uh, this is gonna be bad, ain't it? Yeah, I don't know why it's doing it. So yeah, I just got back from Nigeria. I was over there for 14 days, and I'm a little hoarse. I sound better now, but a few days ago, even up until yesterday, I really didn't have any voice at all. But it started coming back a little bit the day before, and then yesterday it came back a little more, and today it's a little bit back in too. Um, so I didn't actually get sick over there, but I did get congested from sand. The sand and dirt and stuff got down in my lungs. We went to the slave. It was like a slave museum tour. They took us on through the tour where they walked the slaves, where the slaves were caught and walked through what they called the point of no return through the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like sand and dirt all through the jungle down to the sea, and where
Mm.
they would um, you know uh, sold this, where they gave the slaves to each individual country that was there out. Their ships were all out at sea. So so we walked that, and then the guy who was guiding us and telling us the story and stuff, his sandals, his flip flops, whatever those was, they were slipping sand all in my face, and it went all down my throat. So then I ended up congested from it. But it's very interesting. Once I get settled down a little bit here, I got a whole bunch of videos and pictures and stuff that I got to put together. Um, and then I'll put that on YouTube and probably put some on IG and stuff too. But it's going to take me a while to get all of that up. So I'll have that going too, where anybody who wants to watch that, it was very interesting. And we walked that, and they even put the chains. They have the original stuff. They have all the original stuff there: the chains, the houses, the buildings, everything they beat them with, the wells, and the point of no return. All of the village, it's all still there, in the history, and they tell the whole history of it when you go there. And so I'm gonna put that up on YouTube. Once I get it put together, I'll make a little story out of it or something. But they even put the original chains around my neck. They had all these different chains, and that they would chain the slaves in, the kids, the women, the men, how they chain them together, different stuff, how they tortured them. They had all of that, the original stuff there. And then they asked me, did I want to try the chain on? I put that sucker, they put it on because it was heavy, but I put that sucker on, I could barely hold my neck up. It was so heavy. So anyway, but I'm back now. And then I heard about this Charlie Kirk stuff, and then just a lot of the other stuff that was going on with Trump, and the things he's erasing, still trying to take away rights, and now with all these threats of violence. And so we're going to get into that and a whole lot more. Dr. Umar Johnson, and just a lot of some of the silliness and shit that's going on with people. But anyway, how was your? Let's start with you, Miss Stevie. How was your week? What's been going on since I've been gone?
Well, of course, the B Slade interview, y'all have seen that. That was a great interview. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Preparing for the new year for 2026. We're coming back strong. Already getting guests booked for that. Going to be doing a few appearances on other people's platforms. I've been asked to come on my girl Faith is the Substance. She has a platform, and she asked me to come on her show. But we have to set something up. My schedule's been crazy. Christian Barber will be joining me. Um, and we always do our political discussions together. I'm not sure when another girl talk is be the ladies. Our schedule has been crazy. The last girl talk we did was on a Saturday, so we can all work it in together, then we'll work that out. But overall, Style by Stevie's doing well. More new guests coming this week. Already put the lineup out. Still trying to figure out a way to slide the knife in without, them seeing the blade when it comes to discussing what's going on in the current climate. If somebody taps and asks me, then I'll discuss it. But if they don't, yeah, it lets you know from there. But when Christian comes on, I'll get to let loose. So, I mean, I just been kind of having to be restrained with some guests, but then some guests they just like, okay, let go. Let's do
Well,
it.
you,
And the girl talk
you
is the way to do it. And then today I'll be able to just tear into
let
them
go.
because Charlie was talking out the side of his neck, and that's what happens when you live by the sword that you die on. And what happened
Mm-hmm.
was
You got
this is the
shot in
world
the
you
neck.
created. So
Right.
I'm gonna wait till Alvin gives whichever topic, and then I'll go and break it down. We got some history, the history of white supremacy. There's 10 moments in white supremacist violence in U.S. history, and I'm gonna go down that timeline periodically with y'all and break it down. And then
Okay.
what the Trump regime has been doing, while they're also talking about Charlie Kirk. While
Mm-hmm.
that's going on, we're gonna talk about that.
Okay. Deshaun, what you got going on? What's been going on since I've been gone?
Um, Went on Conscious TV live a couple
Oh, you
days
did?
ago. We
Uh-huh.
was talking about this the gunshot of Charlie Kirk. So I
I'm
was
gonna have
up
to
there.
catch that. I got to catch that. I got to catch up on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but the you know, to finish this off, I mean, you give to the universe what you give back, okay? So
Mhm.
what he was talking about, talking bad about black people, talking bad about the LGBT, talking bad about people's autonomy, talking bad about, and not only that, he believes in when a woman is raped, or let's just say if a woman is married, and let's just say the man, you know, do his thing with the woman, and the woman said, I don't feel like doing this, and he keeps continuing, he allows that to, he actually, I forgot what you call it, where if the woman is not ready or without consent or anything like that, he allows rape to the woman even if she didn't want it. And also, if she has the baby, she can't do nothing about it.
That's called statutory rape. That's like gay friendship, or when
But
men they can rape their wives and have sex with them, even though they don't. The women doesn't haven't consented or doesn't feel like having sex or whatever.
Yep.
um,
It's like statutory rape.
and all of that, he was talking about Martin Luther King. You got to look that up, because the thing is, he was talking
Comparing
bad
him to
about Martin
Martin
Luther
Luther
King, and
King.
they
Yep.
got the nerve to have Martin Luther King side by side with him, and he was talking bad about Martin Luther King. This is the same one. He don't even like Martin Luther King. So why would you have him side by side? They said it was so bad, it was just like Martin Luther King. But yet
Mhm.
you forgot, or you know of it, or you knew of him talking about Martin Luther King. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is confusing. And let me tell you something else. What is with these people? And I'm talking about our own people talking about, oh, we need to feel compassion for Charlie Kirk and everything else. And you know, actually King Jives was talking about this too. And he was like, listen, and Charlie Kirk is Jesus Christ and all that other stuff. And listen, and I agree exactly what King Jives was saying. If you think that this man is Christ, you can have this freaking Christian shit. You can have it all.
Well, I
You
thought
can
that they
have it
thought
all.
I thought
I'll be a
I thought
freaking
that they thought
atheist.
Trump was Jesus Christ. I thought how can Charlie
No,
Kirk be
Trump
Jesus
is
Christ?
God.
Because they thought
Trump
Trump.
is
Oh, Trump
God.
is God.
No,
Okay,
Trump
I
is
understand.
God. Trump
Trump
is
is
God.
God,
They're
and
orange
Charlie Kirk is
sherbet
Trump's
colored
son.
king. Yes.
I see. So Trump and Charlie Kirk is Trump's son.
And let me, oh yeah, King, oh yeah, don't forget. These people feel so sorry about this man. They actually had the flag half down, and this man is nothing but a freaking journalist or one of those freaking platform people.
Hmm.
All he does is platform. What did he do for the community?
Podcast
What did he
was
do for America?
nothing, but he was a martyr for
A
bigotry.
radicalist.
He was a martyr for hatred. He was a martyr for homophobia. He was a martyr for transphobia. He was a martyr for misogyny. Did not believe that Black women deserve to work in the positions, even though studies have shown that Black women we are the highest educated in this country, and we have worked hard to get into these positions. He also has said disparaging things about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And you have his wife sitting up here saying, y'all don't know what y'all just done. That don't look like a woman that's grieving and in mourning to me. That looks like a woman that is out for vengeance against people
That's
who are brown and Black in this country. That's what that looked like. Look at her face. His wife, Erica, who got up there. I didn't see no tears because typically
I
when we
don't
know that
believe in
somebody
that
that
either.
we love passed away, we would get up here and we would talk about it. But the
But
way she
it
got
was
up here,
so
she said, "Y'all don't
weird.
know what y'all just done."
She was like, "Oh my god," and it's like, "What is that?" And you know, he was such a good man and everything else, and all of that, and I don't know what it is. And I'm like, why are you whispering while you're crying? It's weird. It's like it's scripted. Like, and the
It was
thing is,
scripted.
I think what's
It was scripted.
happening, what I think what's going to happen is because of the gunshot of, the thing is they're going to enforce laws, and I think they're going to put in the statute just like I said. And also, if you listen to what she said about some kind of patriot message, if you listen to that patriot message, that means that there is a secret code that she's trying to actually reach out to the public and also to enforce laws, and also the statue, which is Trump, and probably Kirk that's going to happen, Donald Trump's statue will be up, and also there's going to be a panel with Donald Trump and all the world leaders and stuff. And don't forget, Kamala Harris might be, well, she wants to be on that panel, but they're not going to have her on that panel because they don't like Kamala Harris. That's what's going to
Oh, they
happen, and
stripped it.
also they're
Thank you. They stripped her Secret Service detail. That's putting her in
exactly.
a dangerous position. This is targeting political opponents, people that Donald Trump views as an enemy. Remember at Madison Square Garden, what did they say? They're poisoning the
Hey,
blood.
Kamari.
Puerto Rico is a floating pile of garbage. What else did they say? Uh, they said that the enemy within. That's what he referred to us in. Do y'all listen to the dog whistles when Donald Trump speaks? The same for Charlie Kirk. And did y'all see how all of these podcast bros, like Ben Shapiro, all of them, oh yeah, let me pull up these receipts right now. Is this a lot of them? The internet is forever. And if y'all think that y'all can try to erase, oh baby, no, no, no. When this shit is over, we're gonna have all the receipts right there on deck for you. So let's go through, shall we? Let's get on up
Hmm.
here. Um, MSNBC fired Matthew Dole in reference to Charlie Kirk's unaliving. He said, hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which lead to hateful actions. Do you want to know what Brian Kilmeade said on Fox? He said, involuntary lethal injection or something, just unalive them. He was talking about homeless people refusing assistance in
I
reference to
heard
homeless
that.
people. Yeah, he said that, and then he walked it back with his apology. Brian Kilmeade, you can save your
No,
apology.
you
And
can
you have
save it.
Lawrence Jones. Lawrence Jones, a black Fox News host. Negro, let me tell you something. They will have your ass hanging from a tree with 13 lashes on your back, wide open. This is where we're at. And if y'all are out here thinking that you can align yourself with white supremacists just to save yourself, remember the film we watched, Passing, but that's a whole different thing. It talks about colorism. If you're thinking that you can pass and just do this to just survive a little bit so Trump won't come after you, you can tap dance like a Candace Owens. Candace, that woman is not letting up off of you. You just like Tasha K. You gonna be just like Tasha K. And I
What's
hope she
up, bud?
drains you for everything you got. Every
But
last
Candace,
penny.
but Candace Owens, let me tell you, Candace Owens, she's gonna back
Oh,
her
she was
boy.
good friends with Charlie
She's
Kirk too. She
she
turning
was
point
on there on
USA.
that panel talking about,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he, my boy Charlie, he was rocking he was thinking it was Jay-Z, and I said, no. If you ever think that's Jay-Z, it's Kanye. And Kanye, and he was rocking
Kanye.
Kanye and me rocking Kanye, and I was rapping Kanye with him, and we were doing a Charlie dance. We were doing the Charlie
Oh,
dances.
what else? Oh yeah. Let's talk about that. Pete Hegseth just told the Pentagon staff to hunt for negative Charlie Kirk posts by service members. What else happened
Mhm.
just a few minutes ago? American Airlines just fired employees over Charlie Kirk's remarks. What else has happened? What else is going on? They're firing
Delta
people.
did too. I think Delta
Trump
did. Delta. I heard
Trump just
Delta and
asked
American
Congress for
Airlines.
millions protecting executive and judicial branches. What else is going on? What else do we have going on? Oh, no, it's more. It's more. This is what else they got going on. Um, let's talk about little Marco Rubio. Little Marco Rubio gave a new bill would give Marco Rubio thought police power to revoke U.S. passport. And this is something sought out to punish immigrants for speech. So they're doxing people. Yeah, for speaking out about Charlie Kirk. I want y'all to dox a black person,
Somebody
please
got
do,
static.
because we are not our ancestors. And if y'all think, because there's a video of them marching in the streets out there too. Let's get into that. It was Huntington somewhere. Um, Brian Kilmeade, save your apology, baby. We don't want it. Save it. Put a stamp on it and leave it in the mailbox. Return to sender. We don't want it. Now let me find that video of these white supremacists marching through the streets with
Yeah, I
signs of
saw.
Charlie Kirk. It's in the group chat. I sent it to the group chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh
An
yeah, let me
ICE
come.
officer unalived somebody in a vehicle near Chicago. Mhm.
Really?
Missouri Republicans passed new Trump approved congressional maps despite massive protests. That's in Missouri. So if you are
Wow.
in a red city like I am, or Harold, I think Harold's in Alabama, I'm in South Carolina, they're going to be doing redistricting. I've already said this on the show with Bo. They're trying to get rid of Jim Clyburn down here. Jim Clyburn, remember I kept saying how he wanted Biden, and he said he would support Biden pardoning Donald Trump. And what was my response to that? I said, you don't pardon fascists. You don't do that. And then when Donald Trump was asked about, you know, them finding out that the person who did this to Charlie Kirk was one of their own. He said, I couldn't care less how to fix this country. This man is not concerned about fixing this country. He is concerned about causing chaos. He's concerned about this. Charlie Kirk's person, killer, not the scapegoat for MAGA was hoping for, was not the scapegoat. They thought it would be black. They thought it would be trans. They thought it would be somebody like that, a Democrat. But no, not trans, not an immigrant, heterosexual, not a Democrat, from a MAGA family, Hunter and Fisher, raised Mormon, and the majority of his family was Republicans. So let's go through the top 10 moments of white supremacist violence in U.S. history, shall we? Remember when he said, when the Mike Brown protests were going on, that it was very fine people on both sides in Charlottesville, Virginia? Well, he repeated a long history of blaming others for acts of terror perpetrated by white supremacists. To put Charlottesville in context, let's review the history of white supremacist violence in the United States of America. Although not only the white terrorist organizations, there are an estimated of 917 hate groups currently active in the U.S. And this is the Ku Klux Klan. The Klan formed immediately after the Civil War began as a means to undermine former slaves' freedom through acts of racial terror and intimidation. It declined during the late 19th century, but its ideas lingered on in the Jim Crow system of discrimination. The modern Klan reemerged in 1915 at Stone Mountain, Georgia, and grew national organization in the 1920s. During the Civil Rights Movement, the Klan bombed activists' homes, churches, murdered those sympathetic to civil rights. Klan activity waned into the 1970s, but the events in Charlottesville reminded us that they have not gone away. All right, are y'all ready to go down the timeline? Let's go down the timeline. Since they want to say it's the trans, and I would occupy that space of trans on the panel here. Uh, Fort Pillow Massacre, April 12th, 1864. Do y'all know what happened?
What
Do you want to
happened?
know what happened? In response to the Union Army's enlistment of black men, Confederate President Jefferson Davis promised to unalive and execute captured black troops as slave insurrectionists. White Union troops were to be taken as prisoners of war, but black ones were to be killed or enslaved. And this is at the Battle of Fort Pillow in Tennessee. Confederates, under the command of General Nathan Bedford Forrest, fulfilled their order when they unalived an estimate 300 surrendering black soldiers. 2 dozen others were castrated. Surrendering black soldiers, some, as even they would say, lay wounded in hospital tents. Okay, number 2, New Orleans Massacre, July 30th, 1866. In 1866, at the Louisiana Constitutional Convention, ex-Confederates led by the mayor of New Orleans opened fire on a parade of 130 black men celebrating the convention before attacking those in the convention hall. By the time they ran out of ammunition, 238 were unalive, and the majority of whom were black Union veterans or delegates. What are we seeing them do with the military now? Purge black soldiers, trans soldiers out of the military, because Pete Hegseth can't put the damn bottle down. Now, number 3, Colfax Massacre, April 13th, 1873. After a contested election in Louisiana, armed white Democrats and ex-Confederates overpowered black Republicans who were protecting a courthouse from Democratic seizure. Both sides were armed, but the black defenders proved no match against the white attackers' numbers and armaments. Waving white flags, the black defenders surrendered, but nevertheless mowed down after laying down their weapons. An estimate 153 black men were unalived. All right. Wilmington insurrection, November 10th, 1898. Before the violence started, Black voters were a numerical majority in Wilmington, North Carolina. What did we see them do during the election in North Carolina? Remember what they did with the courts and how they tried to uh, stop the votes from being certified because Allison, I can't remember her name, she won as the Supreme Court. A Democrat won. And they tried to get her out of there. They tried to strip the Democrats of their power so that they wouldn't be able to order any laws or pass any laws in the courts up there. By the end, they were a minority. In local elections 2 days before the violent coup d'etat, biracial coalitions elected a white Republican mayor and a biracial city council, while white Democrats won the rest of the state. Furious at the election results in Wilmington, a white supremacist and former Confederate, what do we see Donald Trump and them trying to do now? As Deshaun stated so beautifully earlier about them hanging the flag and half staff, and now they want to put this man's body in hold. No, that's typically for presidents. You would do that for presidents. You wouldn't do that
He
for no
doesn't deserve
goddamn
that.
white supremacist. You
Right?
don't
Yeah,
do that.
he doesn't deserve that. Why are
He
they
doesn't
doing that?
deserve it at
I mean,
all.
He's
that's
not from
crazy.
the military.
There is no reason. He hasn't done anything except spew white supremacist hatred rhetoric. Okay, and they're idolizing this man. Why are they putting that? Does not make any sense at all. You know, and it tells you the mindset of Trump and the Republicans that they can do something like this. You know, there's no reason why that man needs to. You know, and it's like they have him lying in state and shit. You know, like he was some diplomat or he was a congressman or a president.
JD Vance, them couch fucker is all behind this. Couch fucking eyeliner wearing motherfucker is behind this. JD Vance
He is.
And if y'all don't think that he is going to be the next president, you are sadly mistaken. Midterms, goodbye, kiss it goodbye. Like Rihanna said, kiss it better, baby. Kiss it goodbye. Because we're not having midterms. We're not having a general election. All of that, this man is going to raise hell when it comes time. When it comes time, January 20th at noon, for the next president to be sworn in, it is not going to be a peaceful leave. But let's talk about the Black colleges that have faced bomb threats as Republicans call for violence. You have Jesse Waters on Fox News saying we're at war with them. They are using dog whistle language. The next number on this list of white supremacist violence is Red Summer. Do y'all know what happened on Red Summer? As America demobilized from World War I, whites frustrated by job and house shortages rioted in over 3 dozen cities during the summer of 1919, injuring hundreds of thousands of African Americans. White mobs initiated every attack. Oh, it's more. Let's go on. And January 6th, oh, they don't want you to talk about that. They're troops, they're patriots. Ashley Babbitt, her family is getting $5 million of our hard-earned tax-paying money. The 16th Street Baptist Church bombing. Do y'all remember the 4 little girls? When the Klan bombed that church in 1963? This is a movie called The Washingtons Go to Birmingham. And that's a book that I read in the 5th grade. And I think a lot of us have read that book. It talks about those 4 little girls. Spike Lee did a documentary on these 4 little girls. That's number 8. I'm not going to go through all the details, but if you want that, I can drop it in the group chat. Overland Park Jewish Community Center, April 13, 2014. Klan members and other hate groups have long disparaged Jewish Americans. But the 2014 shooting at a Jewish community center in Kansas by an elderly former Army Green Beret, Klansman, and neo-Nazi shocked the nation. Do y'all see the pattern here? Who's causing the violence in this country?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all see who's causing the violence? It's not the trans.
Yeah, it's
not
white
the black.
supremacy.
It's white supremacy. It's white males.
White conservatives.
It always has been. It always has been. White
They
people.
always try to blame every other group but themselves because they don't want to get caught. That's the whole idea of it. Like this, like what is her name? This woman right here. I forgot her name right here.
Nancy
She
Mace.
said, "Oh, the Democrats
I
is
can't
in their hands." Like
stand.
her.
I'm
I'm gonna say this. This
Y'all
Okay,
is
hold
see the
on.
scene that she
Hey,
posted?
hold on 1 second, Deshaun. Deshaun, Deshaun, hold on 1 second. Take that down. I'm playing. I got it right here. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
You got it.
I got
Okay,
that
never
right here.
mind.
And then I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna let you sound off. Okay.
Never.
Oh, she's about to be in South
Democrats
Carolina. I
own
got something
what
for her.
happened today. I am devastated.
Devastated.
My kids have
Did
called panicking.
Hannity?
They probably all the kids of every conservative in the country called panicking. Just because you speak your mind on an issue doesn't mean you get shot.
By that logic, do Republicans own the shooting of the two Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota?
Political.
Isn't this on both
Are you
sides?
kidding me?
No, I'm asking.
We
a
don't
serious
know what
question.
condition Charlie Kirk is in right now. Some raging leftist lunatic put a bullet through his neck, and you want to talk about Republicans right now? No.
No, I'm asking
not
you.
at all.
You said the
No,
Democrats
this
have to own
is
it too,
on.
but
The
I'm asking.
Democrats own this.
But isn't there
Democrats
a
own
problem with
this.
political violence across the spectrum?
Yeah, we're talking
There are-
about Charlie Kirk right now. That's the subject of this that we're talking about right now. Democrats own this 100%.
Is Nancy Mace okay?
No, Nancy Mace's never been okay.
Do you know Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, I do.
And what do you think?
Okay, go ahead, Deshaun. Deshaun.
See, this woman was talking about. Oh, we're talking about Charlie Kirk right now, right? But all these Republicans, listen. There was a white guy that had a friend that, because he's a Republican. Remember, he's a Republican that's down hard for Trump. Because I watched another YouTuber talking about this, and he was talking about this guy shot his friend because his friend was talking about Donald Trump bankrupt and all that other stuff. So he shot him. He shot his friend all because he said, "Oh, well, Donald Trump had bankruptcy through his casinos and all that other stuff."
Yeah, 6.
But it's always the right that's violent. All the rights are violent, and they want to take control of the narrative. And if you don't do what they say, they will kill you, unalive you. They will do all this other bullshit and all this other crap. And I'm not done, because Conscious TV was also talking about the history of the shootings from these Republicans. Like I said, when that guy was mentioning of the lawmakers that was shot and killed by a Republican, she was like, not at all. Not at all. We're talking about Charlie Kirk right now. Not at all. We're not going to talk about that. But all the people that was shot that was actually Democrat, though. And you got their
Melissa
nerve.
Hortman and her husband, and the other one who's in critical condition right now, Melissa Hortman.
Who is that?
She was a Democratic congresswoman
Oh,
who
yeah,
lost
that's
her
right.
life.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
and Donald Trump didn't blink an eye, didn't turn an eye.
Didn't
But
blink
here
an
are the
eye.
studies.
And none of them blinked an eye.
K through
None
12
of them
school
blinked an eye.
shootings in these cases, 81% of the shooters have been white. Now, let's go through the stats here. White men, who constitute 31% of the U.S. population, have had a mass shooting rate. Now, 57%, studies have shown that 57% of mass shootings are done by cis het white males. The call is coming from within the house. It's not the trans, it's not the immigrants, it's not the disabled, it's not the Democrats. And they were deleting posts, they were erasing posts, they were asked to backtrack their statements because it's one of their own. And this is not political. Yes, political violence is wrong. We know that. But Charlie Kirk wasn't no goddamn president. He didn't. What office position has he held other than a right-wing podcast bro? Right up there with Ben Shapiro, Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, all of these white males who gear toward young white males. And you have some white women out here who echo the same sentiment as well too. Come on,
And
Becky,
black.
because
We
I'm
got some
waiting for
black.
you.
And we got some blacks now who
Oh
are
yeah,
siding
Dr.
with this
Umar,
bullshit too. Yeah, Umar
Dr.
and
Umar,
that Fox, whatever that Fox contributor, Fox person who you just
Lawrence
named not too
Jones.
long ago. Yeah.
What do me and Harold always talk about in the group chat? I cannot stand a Toby ass motherfucker, a shoe shining, boot licking, coon ass motherfucker. Toby be good, nigga. And if you willing to sit there and get those 31 lashes on your back, you stay there on the plantation while the rest of our people are moving forward. Because see, if I was Harriet Tubman, I'm Harriet Tubman today in this bitch. And I want my people to be free. And anybody else that wants to, that is a detriment to my people being free. If I was Harriet Tubman, I would take their ass clean the fuck out. That's what I would do. I would. Because you are a detriment. What did Monique tell Charlemagne the God on the Breakfast Club? You that brother. Lawrence Jones, you're that brother. Byron Donalds, you're that brother. Tim Scott, Mr. I love this guy. I just love you, Mr. Trump. Shoe shining ass Scott.
So let me ask y'all
You're
this
that
question.
brother.
Let me ask y'all this question. This on this Charlie Kirk. Do y'all think that he was the sacrificial lamb? Like it was maybe an inside job, and
You better believe it, because the
do you
Epstein
think?
files.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Mhm.
Because wasn't he
Ye-
behind wanting to release the Epstein files too?
Yeah, he was going
Uh-huh.
to release those Epstein files, and like I said, Trump was either there was an inside Trump. Someone was trying to do an inside job where, if he released these files, it's going to dismantle everything. It's going to dismantle the elites and stuff. So we need to take them out. So that's
And they
exactly what it is.
Oh, he
It would
and
knows
they
too
keep
dismantle
much.
them,
taking
and
all
it
of
would
it
Yeah.
out.
make them fall. The whole fall. It would just destroy them. Not us, them. That's what it is.
We already
And
got the birthday
they
book
keep
from Epstein.
and
So
they keep it going. They keep it going. They keep it going because they're even we need to keep our eye on all of it. This and everything else that they're doing also, because they're still going to be doing this stuff in the background. And then while we're paying attention to this, because they're going to try to keep this going, and make this man a martyr or whatever. But while we're also paying attention to this, they think we're going to they want us to take our eye off of the ball on the other stuff that they're doing, and while we're paying attention to this, they're still going to be passing these repressive laws and taking away
yeah,
rights and stuff.
gerrymandering.
Okay.
I said,
And
thank
they're
you
doing
said
all
he
this
wanted
gender. Yeah, they're doing all that gender whatever. They're doing all of that
gerrymandering.
gerrymandering, and while we're paying attention to this, then they're in the background still doing all of this other stuff, and then like what we said with this gerrymandering, we talked about this before. Okay, they started off, with Texas, right, and now, then where did they go? Okay, and then now where are they going? Now they're up there in Missouri. They're going to keep going from state to state to state until they have enough of it done where it doesn't matter what we do, what our votes are, or whatever. They're never going to be taken out of power, because they're going to gerrymander all these little rural areas, and then it doesn't matter when you vote or whatever, because it's going to, they're going to have it so blocked off that they sorry, my voice is still raspy. It's going to be so blocked off that no matter what you vote, it's not going to count, because it's going to what they've done is going to overshadow your vote, and they're doing it from. It's just like when they were talking about sending the guards and stuff out or whatever. We talked about this. People were sitting at home, whatever. We keep telling black folks they're coming for you. What you talked about earlier, Miss Stevie, okay? And the HBCUs and stuff. They, first they started off with the white colleges, and now what are they doing? With this, they automatically came to attack the black folks. Now, why is that? Okay, because they want us to rile up too, because it's going to help them actually say we're in chaos and we're violent and stuff, and help them for Trump to send the guards out on us. Okay, but it doesn't matter because they're going to do it anyway. They're coming for us. They're coming. We have been the target all along. While they're using these immigrants, the Mexicans, the Haitians, the Africans, while they're doing all of this, smoke and mirror with them. Okay, this has always been about getting the black folks, eventually getting us, because they want to take us back to the slavery time, where we can work for them for nothing.
Yeah,
and then
that's
and that's what they hate. Is they hate that they don't want us on equal playing field. And they hate that we have done. So all of this stuff that they're doing, all of it is a plan. Okay, and they're implementing it, and we still are not. We're talking, but we're not doing anything. Okay, we're really not doing anything. We're going to have to come up with something, And here's my thing on Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Okay, I didn't pay him any attention. 5-6 years ago when I heard him spewing his rhetoric and all of this other type of stuff, I don't give a shit about Charlie Kirk.
He was talking out the side of his neck. That's what happened.
And that's where he got shot at. He's a white supremacist. Okay, he's a nasty individual, and he hides behind that. He hides his supremacy and his evil doings behind religion, just like a lot of these white and there's black ones and other national ethnicities that do the same thing. They hide behind this religion, and then but behind that they're spewing their rhetoric. They're harming people. So I don't give a shit about Charlie Kirk. I don't give a shit about Donald Trump. And is Donald Trump, when I got back from here, what was the question I asked you? I said, is Donald Trump still with us? Because, Charlie Kirk
is
ain't
he dead
here.
yet? Nope, not yet.
Is Donald Trump still with us? And then that kind of sad me that he was still here.
Still moving, still got
nothing like that, or whatever. But I don't care, And you can say I'm unsympathetic. I don't have any empathy. Or sympathy for anything like that. I have sympathy and empathy for people, who are not evil like that. Somebody who, people who are good in their heart or whatever. Nobody's perfect. But when you're out there spewing that type of rhetoric, causing that type of harm, he doesn't give a shit about black folks or any other people. He said it out of his mouth, okay? And now he has bled out the side of his neck, okay? And if you want to use the pronouns for him, since they don't like trans and gays and blacks and all this other stuff, they don't like the he's and hims, the hers and she's, they don't like the them and the days and stuff. Well, he was a were and a was. Okay, so his pronouns are were and was. I don't give a shit about him, and people give me mad.
I don't care about him either.
They are heartless, or whatever. He didn't give a shit about us. The shit that he has said about us, the harm that he has
black
caused.
people want us to show compassion and also try to give us. We're going to give him. They actually do a what is it, fund me or something. They want us black people to show compassion by giving him money for his wife and kids and all that other shit. And like our own people doing that shit. And it's like, this is ridiculous. This is embarrassing. So that means you're helping the right to destroy us. That's basically what it is.
Did Breonna Taylor? Did those white folks go out and do one for Trayvon Martin?
No. No.
For any of the other black people that have gotten killed and shot, they don't come out for anything for us. Okay? They don't come out for anything. At all. They don't do no fundraisers for us, but then they get out there and they'll fundraise for a damn white supremacist. That's bullshit. Why should I feel sorry for somebody like that or not wish? I'm not sitting around wishing.
Because those black people are brainwashed. Those white people got it right where they want them. I got you, you sucker. And you're doing exactly because white people got these black people on the strings. They're like motherfucking puppets. They have them on the strings, and if we don't feel compassion, we are a fucking demon. But you are nothing but a freaking helper of those freaking genomes that actually is trying to actually have us back into freaking slavery. Not only that, want us to die anyways, but yeah, I digress. You are the motherfuckers that are our own, that are motherfucking puppets that's trying to do that bullshit. And I don't even feel sorry for y'all. You know what? When that time comes and they turn on you, you ain't coming over here. Period. That's bullshit.
Oh, you talking about the black ones? Like
The
Candace
black ones
Owens,
are
like
doing that shit.
Dr.
Mhm.
Kumar, Snoop Dogg,
Make
50
a whole
Cent.
list.
You had a
All
football
of them.
player that
Crazy.
They've
what's
all
his
done
name?
that.
Jefferson. His last name is Jefferson. He paid for Charlie Kirk's funeral, paid for his daughter and
Jefferson,
everything.
him.
Let
Who
me
was
tell y'all something.
Jefferson who? Jefferson who?
I think his name is Justin Jefferson. He's a football player for the Vikings,
Football player,
Minnesota
yeah.
Vikings.
Was it
And
is he
he
black?
paid for Charlie Kirk,
Black.
Oh my, he paid for
Dark
Charlie
skin.
Kirk's
Dark
funeral?
skin. Dark skin.
Oh
paid
no.
for,
Oh, what
As
the
fuck.
yeah, they bending that
No.
knee. What did I tell y'all about Toby's? Y'all know how I feel about Toby's. I cannot stand a Toby ass motherfucker, a yes sir master looking motherfucker ass bitch. I cannot. Why are y'all out here bending the knee to white supremacy? These people would not piss on you if you was on goddamn fire.
You give
Why are
up.
y'all out here? Why are y'all
Like
out
you
here
said,
going with them?
you give up.
You're
You
in
give
the
a
face
black
of your
man.
oppressors.
You
And
give
you
a
are a
black
black man out here.
cornbread and molasses. He gonna sell your black ass down the river every time. Okay, and that's what these ones who get this money, or they get famous, then they want to get white adjacent. Okay, once they get their cornbread and molasses, they're gonna sell your little black ass right on down the river, just like they did in slavery.
Exactly. Because all they're gonna do is use them as a freaking, a
They
freaking
are
guinea pig or a
mouthpieces.
freaking puppet.
You got it. Boom. Deshaun just said it. A puppet. You are a mouthpiece for white supremacy. You are a detriment to the black collective. You are a detriment to us as black people. And as pro-black as you are, Dr. Umar, we saw you on Tucker Carlson's show gathering him with facts. And of course, he looked like a dumb deer in headlights. But let me tell you something real quick. If you think that getting on the side of whiteness will save you from what's coming, because they're getting rid, what you're seeing right now is the ethnic purging of anything that is black and brown and trans and anything that is different in this world. It is to make America white again. The westward expansion, do y'all know about that? Manifest Destiny, which I've been telling people about. Deshaun has sent things. I've sent things. People glazed right over it. It's right there in front of your face. The reason why you didn't get this job position is because you're black. You're a nigger. You are a colored. That's where they want to take us back to a time where we had separate water fountains, separate bathrooms. We were told we had to take our black asses through the back door. I'm not, and I refuse to. Phyllis Hyman, Nina Simone, and others say this. I'm going to let my presence be known. My blackness. I'm here. You can't erase black people. You cannot erase black history. You can try. Last time I checked on the Project 2025 checker, 42% of this monstrosity is complete, and they're trying to ram it down our throats with all of this gerrymandering. Trump's goal is to gerrymander over 100 seats. And what that would do is knock out people who are Democrats in predominantly black and brown districts, because they know the majority of black people will vote Democrat. So we're going to make everything a Republican trifecta. That's the goal.
They've already
And
done
Nancy Mace,
They've already done it.
Nancy Mace,
Nancy Mace.
Nancy Mace, let me get on your ass for a minute, because I'm the only one up here from South Carolina. You threatened Jasmine Crockett again. You told her to come outside. You threatened another black woman again. And I got something for your ass when I see you in person. That's a problem.
Bubs? Hey, Bubs, are you there? Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Bubs
Can y'all
is
hear
there?
me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes,
just
I
pulled
can
up
hear
your
you. Oh my
Okay,
I
God.
well,
just pulled up your thing. You got, oh shit.
That
No,
sick
but
fucking leprechaun.
no,
Go
no.
ahead, weigh in, bud.
Oh my lord. I am good. First of all, I kind of wanted to just sit back and let everybody cook because I have not spoken about this either. Like my OBS is messing up. StreamYard only give you 5 hours a month, and I'm not about to pay $80 to $100 for that shit. Hell no. Okay. And then on top of that, my internet has also been wacky as well. So it's kind of like, damn, I can't really go live. But I found out you was going live today, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then plus my headphones are working again because they was fucking up before. So now I'm able to, go on to lives and stuff.
You
And
should
plus
have
I've been
saw this.
busy.
You should have saw this. You should have saw this when we first started. Ask Stevie and Deshaun. It was jacked up, probably for a good 5 or 10 minutes. I was moving in slow motion, and it finally stopped, but it was like all jacked up. So I don't know if it's StreamYard, or I don't know if it's YouTube, or if it's the internet, or I don't know if Trump and Elon Musk and all of them fucked up the internet for the black folks.
Lord. No, but I mean, I couldn't tell because I was listening to it as I was, doing my other stuff before I came up here.
But go ahead.
I'm glad. I wanted everybody to cook because I kind of want to cook a little bit. I kind of want to get my big back, being my own a little bit, just a little bit, because everybody else was doing it. Again, I appreciate Queen Stevie coming through, Deshaun coming through, like y'all sharing the information, and just letting people know what's going on. This is what I feel like, if you ask me. I kind of feel like we live in some bring it on shit, girl. Like the motherfucking Clovers bitch act like they just know what's going on and shit. I mean, the Toros act like they know what's going on and shit until the Clovers come through and really show them what's up. I feel like they're literally taking pages out of our book in reference to our fight and trying to mayonnaise it. Y'all really sitting up here and comparing Charlie Kirk, a social media influencer, to Martin Luther fucking King, right, who been in jail multiple times, who dealt with assault from white people, even when he was being peaceful, not listening to them, but still moving forward and allowing them to do to them whatever the fuck that they were going to do. Y'all gonna compare him, Charlie Kirk, to this person? See, this is about vengeance. They are scared of us. They are terrified of us. And they have to be terrified of us because paying attention to themselves in the mirror costs too much for them. Again, Charlie got kirked, right? In Utah.
Got kirked. I like that. Charlie got kirked.
One of the whitest states in America, in a sea of white people. And he was kirked by another cis white hetero male. And like Queen Stevie said and Deshaun said, y'all can't blame it on us, but they were so prepared. They're so desperate. They're so antsy to put the blame on someone else. And here's the thing. Maybe the reality or the generation that will finally get it right may not happen in our timeline because that's what people say. But I think the timeline of accountability and for white people to pull themselves up by their motherfucking bootstraps, or the flipping of the page, or the reverse Uno card is starting to happen to where we're living it now. Because there's so many black people who have lost their lives. And what have we seen online? White kids in a very cringy way laying on the ground with a Skittles bag and an Arizona tea can talking about, I just got Trayvon Martin. Y'all literally went and took pictures with George Zimmerman, having him sign Skittles and Arizona tea cans. That one dude, I think his name is Kyle something, Rittenhouse or something. I'm messing up his name. But the dude, not the one that shot up the church, but the one that during the Black Lives Matter protest shot one of them. They buying him beer and shit. Come on, taking pictures with him and stuff like that. Y'all have sat up here and made memes and all type of shit about black people. But see, that's the thing about supremacy. Supremacy is like, I can do whatever I want, but you can't do it to me. The fuck you think you are, bitch? Excuse me? But
It's a
now that
double
you got
standard.
popped, but now that you got
Hypocrisy.
popped and kirked by one of your own, instead of calling your own out, instead of holding your own accountable, instead of actually being the leaders that y'all claim to be, since y'all want to correct everybody else, let's see what correction looks like. They fail in application. That dry-faced witch that was on the screen talking about, oh my God, I can't believe, and I can't believe, and I can't believe. No, bitch, you're right, you can't believe. Because you blaming it on the left, even though we see this is not anybody from the left. They don't meet the markers that your ignorant ass thought it was. This is coming from your hometown. This is coming from your suburbs. This is coming from down the street where you live the fuck at. And if we're really going to play that game, I feel like that's another reason why they don't want critical race theory. Because if we were to approach whiteness and look at whiteness the same way they looked at us, oh my God, the shit that we would see. The fact that so many serial killers and mass shooters come from y'all neighborhood. At least when the niggas are killing, they killing other niggas. So y'all safe. But the mass shootings is happening with your children, in your tax bracket, in your neighborhood. Because what the fuck y'all continue to ignore, it will manifest through your damn children. Y'all want to ignore all those other mass shootings until allegedly trans people did this. And let's just use their logic. I'm just using their logic. This is not transphobic what I'm saying as far as my intention, but I'm using their logic to speak the way that they're speaking. It's just like one of the recent mass shooters that happened to be trans. If I'm not mistaken, they were a trans woman. If I'm going to look at it through their logic because they believe that trans people are just cosplaying as something that they're not, well, if that's the case, that still makes them a white man, right? So regardless if it was trans or not, it's still white.
So,
but instead of dealing with that, all of a sudden now HBCUs are being threatened. What? Why? Because niggas was online saying they don't give a damn. What we supposed to do? Oh my God, his master done died. Oh, I'm so sad. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. No. We just like, no, we don't give a fuck because this nigga talked about us. If we got unalived, he would not care. He talked about black people who were already unalived. And this is nothing new. The civil rights movement started with the death of Emmett Till. And we saw how dramatic that was. And what do white people do? They didn't have no empathy. And I'm going to say this lastly before I land my plane, before you ask your question. There was another black YouTuber that I'm subscribed to that I've had a few conversations with, who is a black female. And she shared her thoughts about Charlie Kirk, but she also said that, you know, a lot of people are saying that Charlie Kirk said that empathy was bad and stuff like that, but they never ever showed the full quote where I guess Charlie was saying that instead of being empathetic, be sympathetic. And that's the fucking problem. Y'all claim to rep a savior that was not sympathetic. It was empathetic, meaning that what can I do to help them? Sympathy is, oh my God, that's so sad. Let me scroll on Instagram more. Let me go back on motherfucking TikTok. Let me go ahead and go back to YouTube and laugh at some shit. Like, no. Empathy means what can I do to help? You actually understand energetically what's going on. And that's what Christ did. But these are the same people who are teaching in Christian churches now that empathy is a sin, that that's bad. But yet they want sympathy and fucking empathy. You can't have it both ways. Y'all hoes gonna have to pick a motherfucking struggle. And your white supremacy does not mean that you get to make the choice for all of us. Because we see what your choice has turned America into. Niggas ain't do this. Y'all did. So we niggas is gonna sit back, and even though, yes, we're gonna end up getting fucked with too, we gonna be at the back of the line like always, so we have more time to think. Y'all the motherfuckers that's in the front of the goddamn line. So I hope that y'all learn from niggas, because like I told everybody, everybody's gonna understand what it's like to be a nigga, to be a hag, to be queer. Everybody about to understand what that feels like. You should be talking nice to us. You should be asking us, like they asked Jesus, what must I do to be saved? You should be asking these people, how did you survive it? How did you move through? But since y'all want to play this game, be grateful for YouTube, bitch. Join the replay game. And I'm done.
Well, let me tell you.
So wait a minute, Deshaun. So, and before you go, Deshaun, but I need to ask whoever wants to answer this question, because I was gone in Nigeria and I don't even know what happened. But before I do that, this is what I think of Charlie Kirk being shot, you know, and I guess I might be just heartless, okay? But when it comes to these type of
Again, he was
people,
talking out the side of
but,
his neck and he got
right.
popped.
But this is what I think of Charlie Kirk.
Pop.
That's what I think.
Ah! Oh my God.
That's what I thought. So, okay, can somebody, before we get back on this other topic,
Oh
can somebody fill me in on what Buzz just said? That a trans woman killed somebody?
Okay, so a
I
trans
wasn't even
woman.
aware of it.
It was okay. It was at school. He killed like a couple of. I think he killed like kids or something. I don't know if it
I'll
was a
tell you
school
what
or
happened.
church. I think it was
I'll
a
tell you what
church.
happened because I did a live on it. Basically, one of the most recent mass shootings that happened was at a Catholic school with children involved, and the person is claimed to be trans. So that's why they were kind of running with it, which is why, again, when Charlie got kirked, he was asking the question was asked about what do you think about mass shooters in reference to them being trans. So they're running with that narrative. So I just said it in the way of like, well, since we're going to use their logic, if you believe that trans women are just men, then by default, when it comes down to the mass shooters, they're all white men, regardless. If that's the case, if we're going to look at it through your logic. So yeah, that recently happened. Like you can check one of my most recent lives where I did, my commentary on it. So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and then I just saw your blame it on the dress
Yes.
part one. I saw that, and then I saw yours and Conscious commentary on it, right after that.
Mhm.
And then I saw the Black Anarchist podcast. I mean, I saw him come in. And so that's what I saw so far. And then I caught a couple of Miss Stevies, but I'm still trying to catch up on everything. Y'all been busy.
Shout out to the replay gang. And yes, I would
Y'all
suggest
been
that you
busy.
check out CTV's latest commentaries surrounding the whole Charlie Kirk situation. Excellent breakdown. They had great conversations. There was somebody from Australia that came in and was like, what the fuck is going over there in America? So, there was education there. I just like those type of conversations. And yes, Black people need to do more, but before we can do more, we need to know what to do. And the only way we can do that is through conversation. So I love that the conversations are becoming more contextual and nuanced. We definitely need that.
Here's more to it.
We have Abraham right here. He's in Nigeria. You see him in the room right here?
Oh, well, yes. Let's hear his commentary because it's been over an hour. So yeah, let's hear what he has to say.
Abraham is in here. Let me see if he wants to say anything, but he's right here. He's in Nigeria. He's a friend I met while I was over in Nigeria. And he wanted to know if he could come in and listen today. So I gave him the link. He said,
okay, that's awesome. That's cool. But I also want to say this though. I want to watch your video because I know that y'all both had an incident, if I'm not mistaken, over there to where I was like, oh Lord.
Oh yeah.
I hope Alvin come back, bitch. I'm like, I hope they didn't catch him, bitch, because I'm doing a live. I'm gonna find a way to go live or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my laptop to McDonald's or something.
She was tired of being trans.
Abraham was with us. Abraham was with us when the police stopped us because he was the one driving the car.
Oh.
So let me ask you this before we go forward. I'm kind of curious, like, how did you feel? Was you scared? Like, because I know that you said that you guys had to go like to the precinct or whatever. So like, what was running through your mind? Was you kind of scared? Was you kind of like, oh shit, oh they finna get me? I ain't coming back. Like, what was running through your mind?
Yeah, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. But I was kind of inquisitive, like, why did they stop us? I've learned a lot from being over there of why they do it and whatever. So you really don't have anything to be scared about with them. They just want to kind of intimidate you and interrogate you so they can get some money out of you.
Oh, hell no. What the fuck?
And the money that you give them really is not like the money we give here. So like the $5K that Andrew gave them, it was only like about $2 or $3 over here. But anyway, let me see. Andrew's right. I mean, not Andrew, but Abraham's right here. You got anything you want to say about that?
Yeah. I'm here.
Go ahead. Tell them about it.
Yeah, the money is not a big money like that. It's just a little money, They just want to make you scared so that you can give them money. You understand?
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
videotaped. You remember I was videotaping him, and he asked me if I was videotaping, and I told him no.
yeah. They because they are scared. They thought you are recording them. You understand?
Mhm.
Because they are scared. They're
Right.
scared you're going to post the video so that others can see too. So they are scared. So they
Right.
are scared of the video. So you say you are
Yeah.
not recording. You understand? So
Right.
it's not as if they are not mad. They are not mad at you. It's just a way of collecting a little money for them. You know, they have families and all that. Oh, you know,
So let
to
me
take
ask
care
this
of them.
question then. Like, then what happens if you get caught without any money? Then what happens?
Yeah, not there's nothing that is going to happen. They will definitely let you go. You understand? They will let you go, but they at least that pressure, the first pressure they'll put in the pressure so that you can pay in some little money. But if you don't have money, they will let you go. They will let you go at last.
Okay.
But they will delay you. They will delay you some little time. If you have something to do, they will delay you.
Right.
Okay.
And what they thought, and then they even told me, I don't have an issue with you, but they went after Andrew because Andrew is actually from Onitsha, Anambra State. So Andrew flew in from Onitsha and he met me in Lagos, and then so
Okay.
they thought that Abraham, I mean not Abraham, they thought that Andrew was scamming me. But they actually what they did was they was hoping Andrew was even though he wasn't, they was hoping Andrew was scamming me so that they can scam Andrew and extort money out of him in order to keep him, let him go, or whatever. But he did give them 5K, you know, but but they actually extorted Andrew and not me.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
Andrew wasn't from Lagos.
no.
Andrew's from Nigeria, but he was from another part. And so they wanted to know what he was doing there, and they wanted to know what he was doing there with me. Because over there, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter whether you're white, black, Indian,
Mhm.
Mexican, or whatever. If you come from the United States, they consider you a white man. And they kept calling me a white man the whole time I
What?
was over there. And I would tell them
Why?
I'm not white. I keep telling them I'm not white, but that's the way they consider us. They just consider Americans or Westerners white people. They consider me a white man, regardless of
What?
color.
Damn. He talking about white supremacy ain't real, girl. Just go overseas
Yeah,
and they
they,
calling you a white man.
But
they
now
calling
they
me
calling
white,
you white there?
and they wanted to
Yeah.
know what Andrew was doing with the white man. And then
Mhm.
they asked him if they asked him if they said, "Is he a gay?" So
Oh, why are you? Oh
because
Lord.
because homosexuality is illegal, even though it's legal here, but it's illegal over there.
That's what I
So
was nervous about because I'm like,
yeah,
oh Lord
Oh,
Jesus.
you know
so
that they don't like it over
so
there. And
right.
they saying
So they
got
were
the nerve
trying
to
to, but they were trying to extort money. But that's not the only time that the police stopped us. They stopped us a couple of times on the road, and then I had to give them my passport and visa. And then we were at the market, and then the commissioners stopped us at the market, and they started, yelling. They really wasn't yelling at me. They were yelling at. Technically they were yelling at Abraham and Andrew.
Mhm.
But then Abraham and Andrew, they took up for me. And so Abraham and Andrew, they started yelling at those people,
Yeah,
commissioner,
because you
whoever
the
they
white man, Alvin.
who runs the market. But then
You the white
they
man.
eventually took us. But get this, they eventually made us go to their office where they interrogated us, and it was a whole bunch of them sitting around. And they asked me if I was recording them, and I said no. And then,
Hey,
but they
Kenneth,
took
what's going
my
on?
camera. The guy took my camera, and he started going
You
through my
you were recording. You were recording, but you forgot. You
right,
forgot to press the record button. You understand?
right.
You yeah. You forgot. You forgot to press the record button, so you didn't
Yeah,
record. Yeah.
yeah. And I forgot to
oh
record the red. So they took my camera and they started going through, and they was looking at all the videos and all the stuff. But get this, y'all. We were in there, and then the guy, the head person, whoever he was over the whole market, he was talking to me, and then he said something about Donald Trump, and he said that Donald Trump is my friend. Do you know
Oh
when he?
shit.
When he said Donald Trump is my friend? I went
Did I
completely
tell you?
ballistic on him.
Didn't I
I'm
tell
like,
you?
did I, Abraham? I went completely ballistic on him as soon as he said Donald Trump was my friend. I swear, I had every single one of them in there laughing, and they were making fun of that guy. They started talking about that guy because I went off. I just kept going off, and I just blah, 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 blah. And by the time we got through, they let me go, and then they gave me an escort through the whole market.
Market,
Told
yeah.
me I was their
Not
friend, and they let
not
me go and
not
gave me an
Alvin,
escort.
but not Alvin over here using his white privilege, bitch. Yes,
Yes,
come on
I
now.
am
Yes.
using some
When it
privilege.
came and said, I want to talk to the manager. How dare you? Got a
Mhm.
whole fucking police. So at this point, what I'm realizing is if I were to ever go over there, I'm just gonna go ahead and just bribe the police off rip. Where the police station at? Hi, my name is so and so. I'm here.
Oh no,
So
yeah, everywhere. They do it all.
I,
They do it all
I,
over
would,
town.
I would love you to come. I would have loved you to come over.
Let me tell you something.
so
Like I said, I'm bribing all the police. I gave y'all all the money. Here you go.
so
Leave
I
me
can be
alone.
a Karen.
Can I? I want to be treated like a white man.
So I can be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Karen. Oh my
No,
God.
they do it all over, so it
They
happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. But the thing of it is, I love Nigeria. I love being. I had so much fun over there. I had
I know
so
okay.
you
much
did,
fun
Alvin,
meeting
because let me tell you
people.
something. I was watching one of his videos, and I ain't gonna say the word he said. I'm trying to say it differently. He he was over there being nosy in his camera in his hotel room, zooming in, talking about the men here, they just pull their stuff out and just start using the
Oh, you saw
bathroom.
that video?
They don't even give a damn. They just pull their big stuff out. I'm like, oh yeah, I bet you like that, Alvin. I'm like,
Oh
damn.
my God! Yeah, I
That's
did.
what I
But
said. I be
Mm.
watching your
they're allowed
videos.
to.
I gotta watch your most recent one about when y'all got stopped. But I watched a few of them. I'm like,
Oh, you know
all
what? I
right
got so
now.
much footage. I have so much footage that me and Andrew and Abraham took. We were everywhere. I mean, we went to the slave museums and stuff.
Wow.
We literally went everywhere. And I got so
Mm.
much stuff. It's gonna take me weeks to get all of that edited and then and up, but I'll eventually get it up. I think I got 4 or 5 of them up there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all should go check out the one that I have up about the we went to the city, we went to the city on the water,
Yeah,
what
that's Makuku.
yeah,
Makuku.
Michael Cole. And then the chief
Yeah.
wanted asked to have a meeting with me. So we all went and had a meeting with the chief's son.
Yeah,
So
the
y'all
chief.
check
Yeah.
that out because it goes all through there, and then you'll see somewhere in the middle. You'll see we go up these steps, and then we go meet with the chief's son, and he starts telling us all about the city and the government and the repression because they do some of the same stuff over there that they do to us. That our government does to us. It's just in a different way.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
So anyway, but go ahead, Deshaun. You were going to say something about that you were going to fill me in more on what happened with the trans shooter. This
Yeah,
trans
I
shooter.
was gonna tell you. So detransitioning shooter. The suspect Robin Westman was identified as trans woman who was allegedly charged. Her name, but had expressed that she was tired of being trans in manifesto. The writings indicated that Westman wished that she had never brainwashed herself into transitioning, suggesting an international conflict about gender identity. So she was brainwashed. This is weird. This doesn't sit right with me. How are you brainwashed into being trans?
Yeah,
That
I don't
don't make
know.
any sense. When I heard that, like, no. This is another way of a reach to stop people from being trans, of being comfortable as being trans.
Yeah, trans
Yeah,
or what they say is trans ideology. This is dangerous because what you just did by saying it's the trans and that this part, even with the Charlie Kirk situation, how they Republicans instantly went to trans people. What that did was put a bullseye target that is already placed on every trans person in America's back, public and not public, those who have platforms and or those who do have platforms, like myself, like a T.S. Madison, like a Hope Giselle, Black trans women who are already vocal, public. We stand out like a sore thumb. We're unapologetic. We're militant, and we stand on what we say. And it's already a target on our back. So when Republicans say it's the trans people, or maybe it's a trans ideology, maybe it's the left, maybe it's the Democrats, they need to turn down the temperature. No, what you need to do is turn down the temperature. It's y'all that need to turn down the temperature. They're so quick to say, oh, the trans are and the Democrats are coming to take your guns. But they were
No, it's
considering
the
putting laws
Republicans.
to take away firearms from trans people from protecting themselves. The NRA said, no, no, not so fast. If we're gonna do this for one, you need to do it for all. And you know MAGA was in an uproar. They don't like that. Oh no. You gonna take away my guns? Because the rule was, oh, anybody else but me until it affects me personally. Until it affects me personally. See, LGBT people, trans people, we are used as the scapegoat. And this is what Misha was saying when I had her on my show. First, they pull the sheet off the bed. Then what comes next? Then they pull, first they start off with the blanket. Then they go with the sheet. And then they pull the whole damn mattress off the bed. That's the analogy. First, they come for one. Then they come for all. So, to anybody out here saying, oh, well, yes, right there. They're marching in what is it? Patriots up front, sitting up here. You got Ben Shapiro doubling down on it. You got all of these white conservative podcast bros out here doubling down on their transphobia, their transmisia. And then come to find out, homeboy was staying with somebody that was trans.
Is
We're
that
talking
proven?
about Tyler Robinson, the one that
Is that proven? Is that proven? Because I keep hearing, what I've been hearing about that is that it's not true, or they've been making false statements. But it may be true. But have they proven that was a trans, that his roommate was trans, or is that still some of this?
Yep,
Is that the
lived with the
right-wing
trans
conservative
partner.
trying to make it, so they can scapegoat and blame trans?
I sent it to the group chat. It's in the group chat.
Okay, I'll go check it
They
out.
can't handle the truth, and this is from the New York Post.
Mm-hmm.
And it says that the FBI, what did it say in this post? It's popping up. It says the FBI admits it's real. And then y'all tried to take credit for it. His own daddy turned him in. What are y'all taking credit for? What is this, Blues Clues?
It was a Christian pastor who the Lord told him, turn your son in. Even though it seemed like Jesus answered the wrong prayer, because the right prayer would have been a nigga, right?
Mm-hmm. So y'all, I'm gonna play this little 2-minute video. I think it's 2 minutes. I'm gonna play this little video and then we'll sound off on that, okay?
When I saw that, I was disturbed. But I'm not necessarily saying that I'm sorry. What are your thoughts on what happened? You just a cold stone face.
My thoughts are very clear, and I have made my thoughts known online. Listen, I think that we can all talk about how we can say that we do not want to see gun violence perpetuate in our country, and we can talk about how we don't want to see gun violence, but that is not what is happening right now. People are mourning a white supremacist, and I'm going to tell you this: the trick of white supremacy is to make you feel bad for white supremacists. Charlie Kirk, the values that he espoused are the same values that allow white people to sleep every night in this country, Black folks enslaved. These are the same values that had white folks taking their kids to watch lynchings of Black people as entertainment after church. These are the same values that had white folks feeding Black babies, using Black babies as alligator bait. Those are the values that he had. So the way I feel about it, I don't give a damn about a Charlie Kirk or a Charlie Kirk mama.
And I think too, a little bit of it for me was less too about him, to me, and for what shook me was, I always keep saying, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know when y'all ready to really pop things off, because I know as a Black trans woman, we oftentimes have our bodies on the, and as Black women, we oftentimes have our bodies on the front line and have to look back, and folks is waiting for us to clear it.
That's right.
And that's why we saw it first when we weren't the ones at first in the streets, with the protesting. And we saw they weren't using martial law against the people who were going on their picnic protests. Was it like more, they were asking where the bouncy house was and all these different things. So, but what shook me was, oh, it's on. Because the violence has been one way to me. Because they keep saying, and you got these Democratic pundits saying, violence is never the answer, but it's always the answer for Netanyahu. It's always the answer for Trump. It's always the answer for police.
And it's usually the answer for white men. It's always the answer for colonists. So, I mean, people are trying to ignore the history of this country. The other thing I will say is people need to really pay attention to both the people and the elected officials and leaders in the country who have taken time to express thoughts, feelings, and prayers for Charlie Kirk and his family, but have never said a damn word about the number of Black people who are killed every single day by police. They haven't said anything about the genocide that both Palestinians and people in the Congolese are trying to survive. I mean, they haven't said
Let
a word
alone
about
them
any of
white
that.
people
Right, but
that were shot in Minnesota, was it?
Right. But the thing is that you have not said a word about any of those things, but you have time to memorialize and talk about Charlie Kirk and all this other crap and humanize him. I don't think so. And for some of y'all, it's internalized white supremacy, because I'm seeing Black leaders who have never said a word about anything that has happened when a person who is not white is dying at the hands of another person. They never said a word, but now they have time to make statements, record videos, and get on TV crying about Charlie Kirk.
So she's right. They're right. That's 100%. And then we got Black folks who, when they don't come out for the gays and the trans, or the LGBTQ, the black gays, trans, LGBTQ, LMNOP, whatever you want to say, they come out for everybody. But we got Blacks, that are over there on the white adjacent side, like you said, Miss Stevie, Dr. Umar Johnson, and some of these other ones. But
Dr.
then
Kumar,
we got Black folks who, who don't come out for the LGBTQ. I don't know how we're going to pull all this together, where we're all on one page, because we're all going to have to fight we're going to have to fight this white supremacy stuff together. We can't sit it out. We can't sit it out, and we can't be divided on it, where, the gays, the Black gays and all that stuff are going to come out for everybody, but then, but nobody's coming out for the LGBTQ, the Black LGBTQ, because the white LGBT, not all of them, but a lot of them seem to be, not even a lot of them, but there's enough of them who are, they still, they're going to choose their whiteness.
Yep. T.S. Madison said they will do that. Like Jeffree Star.
They're going to choose that. They're going to choose privilege. They're going to choose their privilege over their gayness. So with the white folks, Black folks aren't usually like that, but there's some of them are starting to be like that. They want to be white adjacent so bad.
Hope
Giselle, I don't know how we're all going to come together so that we all fight this together. We're going to have to fight this together, because we can't fight it apart, because they're coming for all of us, whether you're gay, straight, lesbian, trans, Democrat, independent, whatever. They're coming for all of us. Go ahead.
Hope Giselle just posted a video talking about that today. I sent it to the group chat, and she replied back to my comment, because I had Hope on the show, and I said, Hope, you saying the same thing that I've said, basically, It's going to take all of us, as Alvin just said. And Hope said the same thing, which is it's going to take every intersection. You can't leave any corners unturned. And what I mean by that is it's going to take LGBT people, the lesbian community, the gay community, it's going to take us trans people, it's going to take non-binary, intersex, asexual, anybody, non-gender conforming. It's going to take all of us to tackle white supremacy, because right now they whooping our ass. Literally.
Mhm.
They've got the White House, they've got the Senate, they've got the House, they're gerrymandering. Trump's goal is to gerrymander 100 seats. And in Missouri is only one Democratic seat. They done passed it. They done did it. They are passing these
They're
bills and
doing it.
legislation
They're doing.
right
They're rolling
behind our
over us
back
with a steamroller. They're
in the
rolling
late
over
night
us with a
hours.
steamroller.
Yep.
It's the same
And
thing.
we
We
united.
and they want to, and we still keep playing nice with them. Okay. They set out there when Charlie Kirk got shot. We just saw the video with Nancy Mace and the rest of them. They're talking about, we're going to get you all. They're playing dirty. They're still playing their dirty politics. They're still evil. They're still out to get us. But we're still sitting here pacified. We're still pacifying them. We're sitting here talking about, while they're talking about rolling over us and taking away our rights and basically killing us too. We're sitting here talking about, I don't advocate violence. I don't wish anybody dead. I don't wish so-and-so, so-and-so. The minute they heard the minute that man got shot, they blamed it on the Democrats and the blacks and the gays and the LGBTs and the trans. They did that, and they said, we're coming for you. Okay? We're coming for you. And we're sitting here still doing this, playing the same game, the same damn cards that we've been playing for the last 100 years, while they've been kicking our ass, abusing us right to our face. I mean, it's like I said before, it's like we're in a damn narcissistic relationship, and we have a damn narcissistic injury, where we just, we're just so injured that, and we don't know what to do. We don't know how to fight back, whatever. So we're just going to let them do that. And they're doing it now. They know that now that they know that this man was not killed by somebody on the left or a trans or whatever, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
Their own.
Okay? They see their hypocrisy. They immediately changed, and then it's like, oh, we need to pray for him. So they went right back to the fucking religion. Okay, but they're still doing the same shit to us. Okay, they keep wrapping us around their fingers, and we keep falling for the same
That's
bullshit.
Because they keep romanticizing our pain and trying to play it out into their own lives. They didn't care about Charlie Kirk. They just wanted to control the narrative that we're going to honor him because above all things, he talked about Jesus Christ, even though he advocated for slavery, even though he advocated for all of these negative aspects or these archaic aspects about the Bible through a white man's lens, that we have to still honor him. And that's also a green light to the other white men who are angry and upset, and they're having their anger navigated and controlled as well. There are literally videos of white men marching through city streets talking about white men fight back, white men fight back. Is this going to be a white on white crime thing?
About that.
But the thing is like they didn't even care about the freaking mass shooting that was happening over in there was 2 mass shootings while Kirk assassination happened, and all the media was just on Kirk so bad.
But that's why I also said that if they really cared about Charlie Kirk the way that they claimed they cared about him, they would come up and draft some sort of gun reform law. Because again, Charlie Kirk was not assassinated by no niggas, because apparently niggas are DEI. They can't even hit. Niggas can't even shoot one shot clean enough to be able to take a nigga out. They got to use the whole clip, and they end up hitting innocent people. So we know it wasn't no nigga that hit Charlie in the neck the way he did. It was a white man that was qualified for that. And instead of owning that and saying, you know what, Republicans, for the Republicans that have morals and values, for the Republicans that do care about their white children being unalived by other white children, you would come up with a gun reform law But guess how fast that shit will be rejected by Republicans?
Same way they
Fast
rejected the
as hell. So you want to say no, it's trans people and black people that are shooting up white schools. If black people wanted to fuck y'all up, we would have been done it. If black people wanted to go ahead and burn this bitch down, we would have done it.
Right.
But we sat here and internalized that so much to where we'll destroy our own communities. Maybe the reason why they don't like us is because, no shade, they are also our fathers. White supremacy is also, we are the bastardized child of white supremacy. And they feel some type of way because when they talk about on Fox News, oh, the blacks are killing the blacks at alarming rates. Wow.
Black
I feel some type of way about the child acting the same way they motherfucking daddy does. Oh, you don't like it now because now you see yourself in your child's actions? Because all the shit that black people subscribe to as far as trap music and all the stuff that people are bringing up about the King Vons and stuff like that, that wasn't created by us. That was created by white people who took our pain and said, yes, we'll pay you to talk about your crimes. We'll pay you to talk about depression. We'll pay you to talk about having reckless sex and without, with abandonment to anything good. We'll pay you for all of that. But yet people want to sit up here and say, well, it's the black people and the black people. But if y'all were objective, y'all will be sitting here dealing with the root that supplements that music for black people. But of course they're not. Because as we saw with Snoop, when he was younger, niggas facing murder cases and shit like that. Just for this nigga to sing the same songs that he got incriminated for the president. If that ain't no shooking and jiving type of shit, I ain't never seen none. And they want all of us to do that. They don't want to talk. They don't want to have any sort of critical thinking. They don't have to. Their people's in the White House. Their people is there. And they're trying to change it to where it's some Handmaid's Tale. And I'm just almost finished with season 1. And I'm pissed the fuck off. I be sitting with my gun right there next to me on my lap as I'm watching this shit.
Oh.
Wait, here's the kick part. I'm just here to feed my kids. That's that Jewish one that's behind the music and about the rap music. I don't know if it was conscious or someone was talking about it where I think there was a show where, well, why not create something positive? Oh, I'm just here to feed my kids. I don't care about that. It's about violence. This is what they get. Because it gets up ratings so I can feed my kids. That's exactly what that Jewish bastard said.
Well, I'm
done with this bullshit of this media. I'm done. I want to leave this freaking planet now. I'm done.
I guess if that is the case, what he's saying, then what I need for these people to understand, which is so hypocritical, is just like really ridiculous to do. These motherfuckers believe that they are exempt when they forget that at the end of the day, you are a human being, which means we all are going to die. Give a fuck how rich you are, how powerful you are, what your title is. Until you can stop death in this bitch, you are a human being like everybody else, and they're getting touched. And the gag is, black people ain't got to do shit. When we were sitting here talking about we were going to sit back and rest and relax. Yes, we're resting and relaxing for when we have to fight. We're not going to help you hoes and then exude all our energy to where we get fucked up. No. Y'all say that we're the lazy ones. Y'all say we're the degenerates. We're the ones we're the ones fucking this country up. Go save your country. Show us what it looks like. But we see that they can't even do that because they need black people. You got white women outside singing on damn corners like they part of a damn barbershop quartet or something about black women lead the way. No. Put your hair in a cornrow. Put on a dashiki. Put on something nigga-like. And show us how it's done since we don't know what we're talking about. So to T for T's point, yes, because of this shit, we're going to deal with the blowback of it. But it doesn't mean we have to deal with it in the way that they want us to. Oh, it's going to be fucked up. Oh, no. They are so arrogant. They are like villains at the end of a Scooby-Doo episode. Now that I got your ass tied up and shit, now I'm going to tell you my secret plan. Bitch, you talk too much. While you talking, I'm thinking. While you're gloating, I'm thinking. These hoes are not smart. They are clever. And clever motherfuckers always have their day. White people was over here talking all this shit. You can't sit up here and cry wolf with this one because the wolf is a lone wolf. And how many of those are white? None of those are black. So this is something that y'all have to deal with. Don't ask us for shit. Y'all done used our, y'all done watered down our music. You done watered down our culture, bitch. See if you can inhabit our strength without us being there. Until then, we're gonna be doing our line dances and dancing around fire and shit to call and summon the ancestors so that when we fight, we on some X-Men shit. Okay? Ridiculous.
I'm gonna play this next video. I think it's about 2 to 3 minutes also. It ties into everything we're talking about. All the videos are, they tie into what we're talking about here.
Come on, synchronicity.
The depth of gaslighting, untruths, the shameful opportunistic politicization of his assassination is a clear attempt to rewrite his history. Now, we know exactly who Charlie Kirk was, and there's no way on God's earth we're going to let you tell us what he was not. Charlie Kirk's legacy is a legacy of hate. He was a racist, white nationalist, white supremacist, anti-Muslim, Islamophobic, transphobic, Zionist bigot. And whatever my view of him is, doesn't change the fact that I find his assassination absolutely wrong. Multiple truths can coexist. First off, these hypocrites, his supporters, are manufacturing a crisis of war and using him as their symbol to go fight. Fight what exactly? Let me just say with my full chest that I am glad that it's not a black or immigrant that killed Charlie Kirk, because it is a white person that killed him. You know that, right? If it had been a black or immigrant, that information would have leaked out a long time ago, and this whole apparatus of hate would have been targeted against the people who Charlie Kirk has spent his entire existence targeting. Let not the irony be lost on you that the same Charlie Kirk that pathologized black people as criminals and went on and on about black on black crime is now the face and symbol of white on white crime, which we all know is far worse than black on black crime. These same hypocrites tell us there is no place for political violence. I agree. But Charlie Kirk was politically violent. His language was politically violent. He supported gun violence and opposed gun control. The same person who said it is right for there to be a cost of gun deaths every year so that we can have the right to arms has now become the cost of gun violence he wanted other people to pay the price for. No political violence, you say. When Charlie Kirk endorsed and manufactured consent for Israel's genocide and political violence, crimes against humanity, against Palestinians every single day. These God-forsaken freedom of speech hypocrites are now hunting down people who are exercising their freedom of speech to either celebrate or quite frankly say they don't give a rat's ass that Charlie Kirk is dead. And these hypocrites are like, how dare you? You must lose your job and you must be punished. And I'm like, these hypocrites must be mad to demand that people extend humanity to Charlie Kirk, who never extended an ounce of humanity to people he targeted. So it is freedom of speech when Charlie Kirk said black people were better off during slavery, that black women lack processing skills, are only good at taking white people's slots. When he compared gay to drug addiction, called trans abomination, spewed anti-Muslim and Islamophobic hate, pushed white supremacist agenda against black and brown people, pushed white nationalist agenda against.
Okay. What do y'all think about that?
She's right.
Absolutely.
Because the thing is, this man is nothing but a freaking hypocrite, a bigot, a freaking loser, a fucking white cracker, a motherfucking hoe ass nigga, a fucking freaking weird ass motherfucking high ass cracker, honky ass nigga, a freaking hoe ass motherfucking nigga. That nigga right there has been saying a whole bunch of shit amongst the black community, gay people, and everybody else. But no, you can't even blame anything about his group. He don't even say anything about his group. He don't call out his group and all that other stuff. He hates so many people that's different than him is ridiculous. But all those people that's actually a freaking conservative broke the freaking internet of Grindr. Let's not forget that. Talking about gays and trans while they be trying to call and holler at a booty call.
Mm-hmm.
But they're conservative.
And I would love to see these leaks of these people who were on Grindr. The conservatives. It says incidents of mass murder and violence against African Americans occurred before the end of slavery but increased during Reconstruction. White citizens, sometimes aided by law enforcement, attacked African Americans and destroyed their communities, often in response to voting, political organizing, and educational and economic achievement. Bubs just said that. These incidents occurred in rural communities and cities across the country. What are we seeing right now? This was going on during Reconstruction. So what are we seeing Donald Trump do right now? Terrorize Black communities. It's Black communities. They're not going into the suburbs or the upper echelon neighborhoods. They're going into rural Black communities. And y'all want us to memorize Charlie Kirk. Dr. Umar, shame on you. As pro-Black as you were, and to all these other Black conservatives out here saying, well, we should have a little empathy. You don't have somebody who is going to want to put a noose around your neck and hang your Black ass from a tree. You don't have sympathy or empathy for somebody like that. And I have none. So to anybody out here saying, well, why Black people feel some type of way? We don't feel some type of way because he would felt the same way. You heard what he said about George Floyd. What you think he think about Breonna Taylor? What you think he think about Eric Grant? What you think is it Eric Grant? Yeah, Eric Grant. My bad. What you think about Mike Brown? What you think about Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, or any other Black person who has lost their life to police brutality or racism in this country? What do you think he thinks? He told you what he thinks. The first Black woman Supreme Court Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson. What do you think this cracker got up here and said? He called her a DEI hype. But see, when y'all use and weaponize the term DEI, that applies to y'all white asses too. So don't get out here and say, well, oh, she's a DEI hire. Y'all kept saying it during the election for Kamala. You kept saying it during the election. She's a DEI hire. What do you think Hegseth and what's his name? Cash Patel over the FBI stood up there looking dumb as fuck because he don't know what he's doing? And how you gonna take credit for something you ain't did? The daddy turned him in. How y'all gonna take credit for something that the other people that are around that are qualified, and you're sitting there looking dumb like a deer in headlights because you don't know what to do? They're unqualified. But you don't want Blacks in these positions. 300,000 Black women this year lost their jobs because of the Trump regime. And let's stop calling it administration. It is a regime. This is fascism. This is a dictatorship. Because this man has vowed that he's not leaving. So next up, get ready for it. JD Vance is next. Couch Fucker is next.
Wait, can I
We're living in a plethocracy.
yeah. Can I read this for you guys? Because I have this on my phone that I Snapchatted.
Go ahead,
So
Deshaun.
okay, so Reese Waters, you already know who he is from a YouTuber. He said, "Hit the like if you agree with all lives matter." To the crew, these crews are actual hypocrites. So here's one. Okay, Keith Brooklyn, Twitter, posted this. A Black officer, David Rose, was shot and killed defending the federal government building last month, and he didn't get a presidential medal, a congressional moment of silence, or to lower the flag at the White House. White civilian Charlie Kirk is shot and killed on a college campus, and he gets all those things in promise of presidential attendance at his funeral. Don't tell me that all lives matter in America. They don't. So it is true. It doesn't matter. All lives don't matter because as long as you're white, it's right. And anything that if you are conservative or you're racist or you're straight or anything like that, which doesn't make any sense because straight becomes a question because basically all those freaking conservatives are questionably gay or trans talking about this bullshit about family values, but you're actually lying to your wives and that. Make sense to me. But other than that, yeah, I digress about that. But yeah, as long as you're white, right? You can say whatever the fuck you want, anything that's negative to the left and everything else. and people that lives their lives and whatever, and you can get money for it. You can die and have a statue for what you have done. You can do whatever, as long as you are freaking conservative and get a disgusting bastard. You can actually be that person.
Mhm.
You can actually get to that point into just being an idol to other people that are also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
That's,
get
and they
rewarded $5 million of our hard-earned tax-paying money, Ashley Babbitt. You get pardoned. He pardoned 1,600 insurrectionists, but they don't want to talk about that. They would rather just put that behind them. And as far as blocking, what Bub said about common sense gun reform, they'll block the legislation before you even try to get it to them. The same way they blocking the release of these Epstein files. What are y'all hiding? What are you hiding that is so bad that is in these files? We need to know. Let us take a peek. What
Well,
you
the
scared,
quiet.
Donna? Your friend is haunting you from the grave. And I loved every
Mhm.
minute of it. I said it was like an orgasm for me watching you squirm whenever somebody mentions the Epstein files. You run. You abruptly in your press conferences. Why are
They're
you
not gonna do
running? Why
anything
what
to
are
him
you
Not
doing?
sure I
anyway.
got the queen dripping.
They're not gonna do nothing
What?
to him anyway.
Tripping.
Even if they find out what's going on in the Epstein files, because we all know that Trump is involved in there, all type of pornography with probably kids and everything,
And the
allegedly.
birthday book. Don't forget the
But they're
birthday
not
book,
gonna
the picture
they're
that was
not gonna do
drawn.
shit to him. I mean, the Supreme
They
Court has already made him, prime ruler over the world. So they're
Well,
not gonna do, even knowing what's in there, nothing's gonna
that
happen to Trump.
Well, that's because they fired all the people that was actually Democrat. If you don't do exactly what Trump says, you're fired. So he fired
Oh
all the
yeah, and
people
they
that's
have
on the cursor.
loyalty
He
tests.
fired all of them out. So there's no one left. But and
Yeah,
like I said,
his
it's going to
person.
stay Republican. The idea is to get rid of anyone that says what to speak up on their mind against Trump. And guess what? You're out of the seat, out of the seat, out of the seat. Because the thing is, they want everyone red. So because the red is actually going to support Trump no matter what he's done, or even in his past, they're trying to erase all that so that Trump is a good person or anything like that, knowing that he's not. So that's the reason why they're doing that.
And I also think that some of these people are like, I think they realize that they're like too deep off in it to where they're literally afraid to turn back. Like again, you've had certain people who remember when they had that I guess that press release on Capitol Hill, if I'm not mistaken. Please forgive me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Epstein survivors,
Oh yeah.
where they all spoke and
With
stuff
the
like that,
women.
like
Yeah.
the women who were speaking, like I forgot who it was, but it was one representative that she literally like walked out because she was so
That
disheveled and
was
distressed
Nancy Mae
and crying
from my
and
city of
everything
South
and being
Carolina.
triggered and shit like that. It's kind of like, this is the time for accountability. And this is not just something political. From a spiritual standpoint, a human standpoint, all of humanity is going through this test and trial under this age of Aquarius. So the truth is coming out. And the gag is that this is not back in the day where it was just a radio where it can be controlled, or just a television that can be controlled. That's why they throw out so much mis and disinformation to dilute everything. But they are scared. They are caught. As much as they have power as far as the government don't have power unless we give it to them, which is why they have to force us through fear. If you got to force somebody to do some shit, bitch, you ain't got no real power. That's false power. If you actually cared for the people, those people who are multimillionaires and billionaires, close to being trillionaires, they can take like 10% of their net worth, all of them, still be multimillionaires and trillionaires, and solve world hunger, world homelessness, have free universal health care, things that will make people actually be loyal to you because you helping them. No, they want to do it through fear, but they're the ones fucking up. And like CTV said on his last show, the Democratic representatives, y'all need to be talking to some of these people who are CapCut creators and editors. I'm one of them. Hello, and pay them to put out all type of ads to say, okay, the right, no, wasn't gay, wasn't black, wasn't a woman. It was y'all. Now what? Keep it very simple. Every motherfucking day, it should be a new fucking variation. You know niggas love to remix shit. It should be a remix to it every motherfucking day and flood social media with it, because this is the time for Republicans who do care about humanity and who do care about their children. This is going to be the time for them to stand up. So for those white people who love America, how much do you really love America? Do you love America as far as the generation where that your children are going to grow up in, that is free for all? Or is it going to be through the lens of white privilege? Because white people have been taught to be white when they were kids. They would drive past certain neighborhoods. Oh, we don't go down there. That's the bad neighborhood. Those where those black people live. Oh, they learn it from somewhere. They learn it from y'all, and y'all mad because y'all children over there humbling the fuck out of y'all as parents and referencing to challenging racism, challenging queerphobia, and all this other type of stuff. But you're so afraid to grow and evolve and be humbled by your child that you rather believe some shit some old dinosaurs are saying. Excuse me, when you get older, aren't you supposed to be nicer because you're that much closer to the Lord? Or hell, I would think you would be nicer. The problem is some of these dinosaur-ass niggas who went to school with Jesus and was friends with Judas when they betrayed his ass, they need to sit down. And yes, Trump may be king, baby, but as we can see on that hand and them swollen-ass cankles, and that
Oh, the
skin
elephant ankle.
sagging
Oh, yeah.
like a fucking decomposing corpse, girl. And on top of that, The Simpsons has not been wrong this far, girl. Baby, we ain't got to do shit. The last two people that tried to take our Republican people were white. This is on you, baby. Ain't nothing we can do about that. This is y'all problem. Y'all was so worried about black people. Don't worry. We thank you for the awareness. We thank you for, looking in our quote unquote blind spots. Now it's y'all turn, bitch. And we can survive it. Can y'all?
Did y'all know that with this Epstein stuff, when those women got up there and testified, and then they were outside and they held that press conference when all of those women, that had been abused, from like teenagers even up to certain ages or whatever. Remember, they was just not, I think it was a week or two ago or something, they was out there and they did a whole press conference and they were talking about it. Did y'all know that some of them voted for Trump both times?
Yeah, they guess what? She said, "Oh, Trump, I hope you can do something about this." I'm like, but Trump is part of the Epstein case too.
Right.
But the thing is, this is all controlled because the thing is, they know of Trump. They don't want to say anything about Trump because the thing is, they actually signed some kind of treaty, or I mean, not treaty, some kind of I don't know what you call it. But if you sign this, you cannot say anything of Trump of what, because he was part of it. He was part of it.
But like CTV said, imagine having to plead with somebody that abused you to release stuff, knowing that they're a part of it. That's some fucked up shit that can fuck with people's psyche.
It's like asking the devil, "You saved the day." That's basically what it is. It's like, "Oh, devil, you saved the day," and then you have to suffer, even though it's good, but then it's bad because you actually shook hands with the devil. It's weird.
Yeah, and they dance with the devil though. All of those conservative, not all conservatives and white conservatives, but the majority of them, they dance with the devil because Trump is the devil, and most of them
girls
they dance with the devil.
On Handmaid's Tales, shade.
Bubs, when you get through with the Handmaid's Tale, it's going to get worse. You said you were in season 1 right now.
Yeah, I still got to finish it because
progressively gets worse. It progressively gets worse, and that demented abuse and just the way they think, you'll be able to correlate when you start watching. As you get more and more, you're going to be able to correlate what's happening now to this and what's happening in the Handmaid's Tale, because it's almost, and Miss Dee can tell you, it's almost like they took the whole damn page out of the Handmaid's Tale and they're applying it now with the Esther shit that they're trying to do now.
And that's why I'm saying, if that is the case, y'all already watched it, Y'all know
Yeah,
how it get.
we've seen it.
They are
Right.
that's I'm saying this before we go forward. Last thing, I'm sorry. Spiritually speaking, and I'm still learning this. A lesser form of magic is being able to put your form of your truth out there in plain sight, to where your subconscious, excuse me, your subconscious mind subscribes to it. That's why like these movies like The Purge and all this other type of stuff is so eerie, because art imitates life and vice versa. But the thing is that when they give you that information, you now know something. And I think even CTV said, and I have to finish reading this book, I always say this, it's The Art of War by Sun Tzu. They say never underestimate your opponent. These people are underestimating us.
Right.
And they're using fear to make sure that we don't rise. Again, we were the property, which means we were the actual manifestors and the gods and the creators. These people just leached on and took credit for it. And they boasted so much about how white people have done this and we built this country. Okay, well, now we're in the information age where the whole world is watching. So since you did, go ahead and show us.
Oh, and by the
But
way,
now they have to stand 10 toes down in being honest, because how they truly feel about us is coming out more. And they're so caught up in their fear and ignorance that they don't realize that it's being recorded in 4K, 8K around the world. And even if they do erase shit, the world is watching. So these people, instead of building reconciliation for real, like also participating in ending racism, because white people also play into it because your forefathers created it. So there's no way it's going to be done without y'all. Y'all the missing piece of this shit. Instead of y'all dealing with this shit, it's going to get worse for everybody. That's how a cancer works. It don't just stay in one part of the body. Eventually it grows and grows and grows as much as it possibly can. And that's what's happening. So that's why I say this time, white America, I'm sorry, not sorry. Y'all gonna have to show us how this country looks when it's fixed. Because every time that it was fixed, especially the first Civil War, who are the ones that helped y'all to win? Us. Who are the ones on the front lines? Us. Who are the ones that simply said we wanted just a slice of the American pie and to be able to create our own? Us. And y'all still fucked us in the back end. And y'all always fucked us in the back end. Well, I think it's time for us to be the power top in this bitch. Deshaun, grab the oil.
And they don't use lube when they fuck
Yes,
us
I
in the back
will.
end. Okay, they go up in there dry, so they don't even use lube when they fuck us in the back end. So can we at least get a little lube?
Well, I'm gonna be nasty. I'm
you
gonna
ain't
fart
getting
shit
no
all day. You
lube.
gonna have to work through this demon.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, Deshaun.
Yeah, like I said, oh, don't worry, Bubs. I'll give you the essential oils with the what is it called? The the extract that is nice arousement to it. Yeah.
This nigga said essential oils. I don't want no shit that's gonna burn my skin. I don't want to smell like no
No,
eucalyptus
no, it
plant.
doesn't burn your skin. It's like a mushroom extract. It's like an arousement. You know what I mean? A nice arousement. While it's not making your skin nice and glisten and all that stuff, it's gonna make you feel real good.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I'm gonna play this next one here.
Hansel and
I
Gretel.
think it's about 2 or 3 minutes. Also, I tried to keep it short today. Okay, and then we'll weigh in, and then there's just one more after that.
Sometimes revenge is a dish best served cold. I hate to celebrate someone's death, but when you talk about guns rights and you talk about how much the Second Amendment matters to you and then it impacts you, like, what do you expect? Sympathies to his family, but this is why we need gun control.
One of my friends said on social media, he died in a world that he wanted.
Yeah, he said it himself, right? This is like this old quote that's been floating around about sacrifices were made for the Second Amendment to still exist, or something along those lines, right? It's an ad-lib, but yeah, this is what happens. You reap what you sow, and it's sad that someone died, but also, hey,
What do you say to people who might say that you're unsympathetic and you need to be more human about it?
I don't know. Reread slavery, rewatch Roots. There are so many different eras of American history in America where worse things have happened to people. And we've turned a blind eye. You want us to erase the Confederacy. You want us to erase all these different things. But why should I have more sympathy for someone that you clearly you don't know pain, really. This is the worst thing you could think of. You don't understand what other people have gone through.
Do you think that this will make a difference with getting people to actually sit down and talk about some sensible gun laws?
No, unfortunately not. It's going to galvanize the right. They're going to place it on some like leftist extremist or something like that, and the conversations that need to be had won't be had.
Someone on Fox News said, I think it was Jesse Waters, said that we're at war with them or they're at war with us, meaning liberals.
Yeah.
You think there's going to be retribution for this? Are you concerned about that?
Politically, I think what we see happening in D.C. and what the threats that the president's making in Chicago are a prelude to something that could be worse. Think about like 1984 with the thought police. This is an era where we're coming in where they're censoring what you could say on social media. Certain hashtags are immediately flagged. There's going to be a reckoning. Hopefully it won't be a violent one, but it'll be a political one.
What I will say is this. He's pointing out a couple things that people need to recognize, and that is that it was Charlie Kirk and those like him that create this environment of violence and hate. And we're watching it happen now. You just played Steve Bannon, and you just played, what's his name? The other guy, who are saying, we're at war. Alex Jones, we're at war. And so once again, who's creating this violent rhetoric? The right. Already right away, straight out the fucking gate. And so like the gentleman just said in the clip you played, it's coming to a reckoning that they're creating.
I wonder what it's, I have heard, Jolly, every single Democrat I've heard has said, this is awful. It shouldn't happen. I don't believe in violence. And yet on the right, they're like, we're at war. We're going to get them. We're blaming Democrats. It's the libs. I mean, it shows you just how different the Democrats and the Republicans are. And, I don't know if it's the Republicans or just that, they have more of a fighting spirit. And I don't mean that positive, or they're more aggressive. They're more angry. I don't know.
What do y'all got to say about that?
Yeah,
I think it's going to come down to probably another civil war. This time it ain't going to be you fighting to keep the blacks. It's slavery. It's going to be it's going to be the country. It's going to be us against them.
I mean, look.
That's what it's going to come down to.
Look what happened in the crowd. A man yells saying F Kirk, and already they're fighting this man, jumping this man, and all this other stuff. But, the poor choice on him, because the thing is, how come you didn't bring your friends with you if you're saying F Kirk? Because you need to be prepared when it comes to all these white people jumping on you. I don't know if he's black or white. I don't know if he's white or black in this. But what was happening over there, I don't know what he is, but, or Latino something, I don't know. But, when you see stuff like this, it might become a civil war. And the thing is, all the people that have all that money is sitting back watching this. And it's like, look, we got him. We're having people fight over, and we're getting more money over this because the media, they're falling for it because they're watching the media of what we're saying, and perfect for the YouTubers, because the YouTubers are saying all this propaganda about making lies about the left, and then there's going to be something about the right. They're going to fight each other and all that other stuff, and we're just making money and all that and all that other stuff. Remember, this is what they want, so that to create more violence and purges, so that they can make more money. And not only that, once they get rid of all the civilians, they're going to actually have their own businesses back, and they're also going to have their kids back over there. They don't give a fuck about that. And the thing is, they're going to do the same thing in Chicago, because Chicago, they're trying to enforce police, because Trump is like, well, we're going to enforce police, even though it's going to get blocked, but still it's going, it may have peace for the people that's in there, such as Chirac or whatever, but and they'll be back in their houses. But the thing is, once this is all said and finished, they're going to actually clean up everything, and all the people that's from the right is going to move on in with businesses. They're going to change up the houses and everything else. They don't care if black people die. They don't care. If they all die off, this is perfect so that the whites can go back to where it's normal again in their eyes. But yeah.
I think we lost Miss Stevie. She was getting ready to say something, but then I think we lost her connection. Abraham, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah.
Abraham, you have anything you want to say? He might be asleep. It's probably like 12:30, 1 o'clock over there.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, shout out to him. And shout out to Deshaun trying to put his ear. I'm glad his ear is clean in the camera. But
okay, do you have anything, Bubs, before I play this last video?
Yeah. I mean, again, I just want Black people to be on code. We have to be more on code of what's going on. These people have been showing us this. Like, we're literally about to relive the 2.0 version of Reaganomics. The war on drugs. Like, again, Ronald Reagan was an actor before this nigga became a president. Donald Trump was an entertainer, a failed businessman, entrepreneur, but entertainer. And he became president, not just once, but twice. You know, so they're going to try to implement those old ass tactics. And I gotta believe and have hope that there is some aspect of white America that is waking up and that will stand the fuck up. But again, they're gonna have to realize what is worth more, humanity or my privilege. Because yes, you are going to be safe for right now, but they're going to always want and need enemies. It's never just, oh, we get to one thing and we're done and we're good. No, there's going to always be a scouting. And even with watching The Handmaid's Tale, the first season, there are some people that have hearts. There are some people who still gonna practice empathy. They may be quiet about it, but they still gonna find ways. Even during slavery, they had the Underground Railroad. There were some white people who literally put their lives on the line to help Black people. So even if the shit hits the fan, there are going to be some people that are going to help us and understand humanity. These hoes will never ever fucking win the war. These hoes may win battles, but they'll never win the war, baby. And that last war, they need to be worried about, because that's when the true spirit of accountability comes in. For all those Christians who talk about every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess, I hope y'all ready for it, because y'all gonna be on your knees too, bitch. And you ain't gotta be gay for that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh Lord have mercy. I'm glad when my voice come back, so I sound like a horse laughing. My God.
No, but it's good. Glad you had your voice back. Especially you was talking about those men
yet.
walking around with the big old things, pulling them out. I'm like, why you say that 20 times? We know.
Here go Miss Stevie. Miss Stevie's back. She had bounced off. You were going to say something, Miss Stevie, before you fell out. What were you going to say? Excuse my voice, y'all. It's still trying to recover. Miss Stevie?
Yes.
You were going to say something, and then you lost connection. What were you going to say?
Yes, we were talking about how they're blaming Democrats for these crimes. And my thing is this. They're telling Democrats that they need to turn down the temperature. No, it's not Democrats that's turning up the temperature saying we're at war with them. It's not Democrats saying that. It's Republicans from Fox News, Rupert Murdoch, Donald Trump, turning up the temperature. And you have Elon Musk. That's what I was going to say. Elon Musk just came out and put a statement. I sent it to the group chat. He came out and said, well, you got to get out there and you got to fight. They're wanting a civil war to happen. They're wanting bloodshed. Black people are not giving them that energy. We're not giving them that. But trust me, like Madison said, if you come knocking on our doors, then we're going to be ready, because we are not our ancestors. And we will invoke the spirit of Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, and Malcolm X. So play with it if you want to, because you're going to go up in Black neighborhoods, just like y'all tried to pull over there to that Haitian community over there in New York. You found out. It's way more. You were going to try to do an ICE raid over there in Little Haiti. You saw that red, black, and green and yellow, and you thought you was going to deport some Haitian Americans? Try it again. Please try it again. Because you got the Haitian community, you got the Jamaican community, and they all run tight. See, the thing is, we are divided right now as Black Americans. There's
Yeah.
still a war amongst us in the diaspora
Yes.
as it
Yes.
pertains to Nigerian Americans
Yes.
over there in Africa. There's
Yes.
still like a certain elitism. We seen that in the Jubilee conversation when homeboy got up there and said, well, I'm this and I'm that. And Amanda checked him like, do you know the actual truth? That's what we're having to deal with. So while they're putting laws in place that cause harm to us the most in the Black and brown community, the BIPOC community, people of color, and Black people, we're arguing amongst ourselves. Not us. We're united. This is a united front right here, the short stack revolution. But when we go out in the real world, we're still having to fight the plight or the system, where my transness. An example would be Bubs. Bubs is a Black man that is in the LGBTQ community. The same for Deshaun. And any one of us on this panel, we're having to fight the oppression that is going on in the real world, in the workspace. And then, like Madison said in the interview she did with Melissa Ford on Hot and Bothered, you're having to fight against your own people because they don't want to unite with you. They're not interested in uniting with you. Hope Giselle just posted a beautiful video a few minutes ago about it's going to take all of us in this fight. You can't leave no corners unturned. That means LGBT. That means disabled. You're going to need everybody that is Black or have a shade of Black in their skin. Well, Candace, you can stay your coon tap dancing ass over there along with Byron Donalds and Tim Scott as well too, from my city of South Carolina. Y'all can stay over there. We don't need y'all. Y'all stay on the plantation while the rest of us is moving forward to get free, because we don't need anybody who's going to be a detriment to the revolution, and the revolution will not be televised. So when it comes time, because y'all are provoking Black people. That's what you're doing. You're trying to get a rise out of us. These things that you're doing at the Smithsonian Museum, you're removing artifacts from Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman's hymn book was removed out of the Smithsonian Museum. Wow. And we've been so blinded by everything that Donald Trump has been doing that we're seeing legislation put in place, like Alvin and us just discussed a few minutes ago, to harm us the most. More tax cuts for Donald Trump to line his pockets for him and his presidency. Do y'all know how much this man has made during his entire dictatorship here back in the United States? Because this is not a presidency, this is a dictatorship. This man is full-blown fascist. That's what he is. They don't like when you call him a Nazi or a fascist or a racist. Oh no, that's a little bit too much. Don't you think that's a little bit? And you see them do it on CNN too. What they do is called the weave. Donald Trump does that. They're doing what he does, which is we're going to deflect, we're going to duck and dodge, we're going to go around the question. No, get to the point. Like Kenya Moore told Kim Fields at the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. I don't know which season that was. Get to the point. Stop playing in our faces. And y'all are playing in our faces. Literally. And as Kim Fields stated back to Kenya, we are making our point. The point is, it's not us. That happened in little white Utah over there. And it was from a white cisgendered male who comes from a religious Christian family. Christian values, right? Thoughts and prayers. Your children getting shot up in school. Thoughts and prayers. Women losing their bodily autonomy. Thoughts and prayers. 2 African American women in the Georgia area lost their lives for trying to bring life into the world because they didn't give the proper life-saving care that they needed. Adriana Smith and Amber Nicole Thurman. Thoughts and prayers. A 76-year-old woman took off oxygen. Thoughts and prayers during his first time in this regime. Thoughts and prayers to people being assaulted and attacked out there in the streets and snatched up and kidnapped and deported to other countries. Thoughts and prayers.
You know what?
LGBT people losing their rights, us losing our rights. You want to overturn same-sex marriage, thoughts and prayers. You want to unleash terror, chaos, pain, tyranny, and suffering on each and every one of us, thoughts and prayers. That's always been Republicans' thing, thoughts and prayers, until it affects me. And what the Charlie Kirk's wife said, oh, it's going to be bad. That woman didn't have not one. I, yeah, sympathy to them, sympathy to the family. But
Yeah,
we
fuck her
can't,
too.
y'all can't.
Fuck her too. Fuck her too.
Yes, because she got up there talking about, oh, well, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. How did Charlie Kirk show? One of the TikTokers just did a video. How did Charlie Kirk show live? And the man ain't even in the seat. Please tell me how that's going on.
I know. Oh, I gotta
So I
add. I
want
gotta,
What y'all got y'all got a
look, office.
reincarnation of him or something?
Look at this.
Y'all
Office.
gonna bring him back from the dead like they did in How High?
It's
Smoke
gotten
his
so
remains?
bad.
So you say that Charlie Kirk's roommate was a trans woman or a trans man?
Trans, yep. New
So
York. Mhm.
so I wonder excuse me. I wonder if it's I wonder if is she trans Republican? Because that might be like that's kind so because if he's if he's Republican or they MAGA type people and that's his roommate, I wonder if his trans roommate is also, like Caitlyn Jenner, is the roommate on
Hello,
the
guys.
Republican
Hi.
side?
Oh, yes.
Hey,
Is
guys.
they on the
Oh my
Republican
God.
side, the MAGA side, or is the roommate, the trans roommate out there
Mhm.
voting like MAGA and like Caitlyn?
Maybe.
I need to dig a little bit more into that because that
Listen,
just sounds a little interesting
you'd
to
be
me.
surprised. You would be surprised because some of these Republicans out here claiming that they hate trans women and yet they are dating them. Angelica Ross and
Right,
T.S. Madison said that. Data has
right. We saw
shown
that.
that
Right,
these Republican men hate, but at the same time, you're attracted to trans women. It's like, what is the issue? Be open about it. Don't hide it. But see,
right.
you'll be kicked out of the boys' club. The boys' club,
That part.
The Republican
That part.
boys' club. Be open about it. If you're attracted to it, say you're attracted to it. Don't hide it. But see, that's why DL culture exists now. Because people shun people for living and owning who they are and dating who they want to date freely and openly. That's why these grinder notifications been going off during the RNC convention. And I would love to know the names. So whoever got the names out there, please release the names and release the Epstein files. Let us see what's in it. Release it all. But even if you do that, they still will go back to that voting booth. They'll put
Right,
on their little red hats.
right.
They'll get their flags on the
They
back of their
don't
truck.
care. They don't care.
And they'll go right back in there, like Madison said, and they will press that red and they will vote Republican again. Because you got you got
It's called
Lindsey
fake
Graham.
outrage. It's called fake outrage. They get all outraged and get out, I had and blah 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 and go against this, but then they go right back in that voting booth, pull that lever for what? Okay, same thing with the majority of those white women. They get out and complain and stuff or whatever, but as soon as the election rolls around, the general election, who do they go back in there and vote for? Even the local city elections and stuff too. They go right back in there and pull that vote for whoever the conservative is. And they pull the vote for whoever the president is, whether they like him, agree with him or not. They're going to pull that lever. Okay.
Because
Which
that white
keeps
privilege. Yeah,
that
because that
white
white
privilege
privilege is too much to lose.
right. It's too much to lose. That power, they want to keep that power and they want to keep that privilege, and they want to take our culture and everybody else's culture away from them, but they still want to keep that power. Okay, they want
Culture
our stuff.
vultures.
They don't want to be like, they don't want to be us.
They don't
Yeah,
want our
they'll
jazz or our blues. They're culture vultures. And I said this,
Mhm.
I was saying this to Deshaun, I think in the chat. I said a white person in the voting booth is a very dangerous weapon against black people because they will choose their whiteness, they will vote for their whiteness versus voting for the overall humanity for everybody. Like Bubs just said, that white privilege, the complexion for the protection. They will use that privilege here on down. And as we're seeing right now, they are scrambling, they are in shambles. And what did Reese Colbert say? They are glitching out. They're blaming black people, blaming black women over there in Little White, Utah, when this man who unalived Charlie Kirk was a whole damn white man who had a audience full of young white men listening to Charlie Kirk. And he was a student there over there in Utah. It wasn't the black people. It wasn't the trans people. And at this point, whenever somebody says, oh, it's the trans, I'm going to play Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas, every day, because it's the same song, dance, and repeat. Same wash, rinse, and repeat. You're blaming marginalized groups because you know what you're doing is wrong. And if you got the sneak to do it, it's wrong. What is it? Wrong.
Right.
So let's blame the trans people. Let's blame the immigrants. Y'all still snatching up black and brown peoples, right? You're gonna snatch up the right person. Still got your face covered up and everything. Why don't y'all let us take the mask off so we can see who you are behind the mask? Because guess what? Once this technology lives forever, the internet is forever. Once this shit is, well, it ain't gonna never be over because y'all done got us stuck in this shit. It's gonna take about 4 years for us to get out of this mess. Well, once this is over, I'm gonna say this: Nuremberg trials. Remember the Nuremberg trials in Germany with Hitler?
Yes.
And how everybody was held accountable? Well, when that day comes, oh, trust and believe, Christy Gnome, Ice Barbie, Dog Killer, you'll be held accountable. Champagne Pete, you'll be held accountable. The Squidward looking motherfucker, Stephen Miller, you would be held accountable. The one, and like I always say, take my strong hand. Just take my strong hand. Russ Bott, you gonna be held accountable. So to the Heritage Foundation, anybody affiliated or connected with Donald Trump, anybody who took out Tom Homan, your fat pig ass is going to be held accountable too. So y'all can try to sit up here and spin it and do what Donald Trump says, which is the weed, where you can duck and dodge accountability. You can try to deflect and distract us. No, we're not doing that. We're going to keep fact checking you to your damn face every time, because they will try to lie. They'll try to spin it and say, well, hey, it wasn't me. It was the trans people. Or what do they always do? They blame Biden. Biden, and no. This is not Biden's economy. Biden is not the president right now. And in fact, Biden is in great health. He looks good. Donald is the one that's out here, looks like he's stroking out, cheating on golf courses. $52 million, over a third of his presidency spent golfing and cheating in golf, like he cheats on his wives with porn stars.
He cheats in everything. He cheats in everything. He's a very deceptive, evil human being.
And then tried to take credit
through on my
for
other
something
phone.
that
I'll be
Biden
back.
did. Then you try to take something for credit for Biden did. The infrastructure, you tried to take credit for that? You tried to put your name on it. I knew he was going to do something like that. So you are a snake oil salesman. That's what you are. You are a snake oil salesman or a used car salesman and say, come on, buy the car. And then the car all fucked up. The engine sound like somebody done fired off a rifle and shit. And you like, what the fuck happened to my car? So that's what Donald Trump is. A used car salesman. JD Vance is a dangerous chameleon, because we saw what he did on that stage in the debate with Tim Walz. Tim Walz asked him, and I said it on the last panel, did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election? It's a yes or no question. We know he lost.
We know he lost. They cheated, and they cheated. They cheated.
Why couldn't you say that, JD? Because see, Peter Thiel and JD Vance, they had some sort of dealing going on, and Donald Trump was given an ultimatum. That's his punishment. He had to take JD Vance as his vice president. So we already know what the end game is going to be, because you heard JD Vance say the quiet part out loud. Republicans always say the quiet part out loud. He says, well, if Donald Trump's health is coming, I guess I'll be able to step up and fill my duties. That's been the Heritage game plan all along. That's been the Heritage's Foundation game plan all along. Was Donald Trump is just the actor. But the shadow presidents, when you peel that curtain back, it's just like an episode of Scooby-Doo. When you pull that mask off, as Bubs just stated,
Mhm.
you get to see who the real presidents are. And it is Stephen Miller. I clay that motherfucker looks just like off of Squidder on SpongeBob. I just don't know what it is about him. The shape of his head, the bald, everything. I just can't. And then
Yeah, Trump is just there right now. Trump is just there right now. He's their puppet. He's their, they need him right now, but they don't give a fuck about Trump. As soon as he's dead or, or in the nursing home with dementia or whatever and stuff, they'll move Vance or whoever they're going to put in. They're going to move that in, move them right into his slot. It's their plan all along. Just, we can put up with Trump for a little while because he'll be gone soon. But then we're going to put our plan in motion. We've already started it with Project 2025, and it's going to be completed, once Trump is gone, and then we can move Vance or whoever they're going to put up in there.
It'll be Vance for sure.
Yeah,
He's lying in wait. He is lying. That motherfucker is lying in wait. I don't trust no motherfucker that wears more eyeliner than me. And here's the thing about it right here. He said what he said about that, and then you get up here and you said what you said about violence, about victims of violence, about a little spat, Donald. But how did your first wife? We need to really open that case back up. That case really needs to be opened up with your first wife, Ivana. This woman didn't mysteriously just fall down those stairs.
Fall down
Now,
the damn
conspiracy
steps.
theories,
Oh, we know what
and he's buried her on the golf course. You ain't kept her grave site or nothing up.
What a
Like,
crazy lady. Yeah. No,
he loves to control women. He loves to control women. He was abusive to her as well too. And
Yeah,
I would have put
I
a
think he
past.
pushed her down the steps. I think he had somebody, allegedly. It's just my conspiracy theory, but I think that he probably had somebody, take her out.
Wait.
Yeah.
You got to see this. Man vandalizes Charlie Kirk's memorial outside in the Turning Point at USA headquarters in Phoenix. Watch this.
I love it so much.
Watch.
Thoughts and prayers.
You see that? And look, they're pulling him, pushing him down, kicking him. Look at that. Kicking that young boy. Grabbing him, pulling him again.
He won't get
Just
to
because
rest
he kicked.
peacefully. Not at all. Rest in piss and shit, because you get nothing over here from us. So, yeah, tear that shit down. Tear it down. He stood for hatred and bigotry. He was a moniker for hatred and bigotry. There was nothing loving or godly about Charlie Kirk. Fuck him.
But these white people are so
Nothing.
controlling. These white people are so controlling just because.
As memorials
This is
honoring
weird.
Charlie Kirk pop up all around the country, Office Depot is facing backlash after an employee in Michigan refused to print a poster for one of these prayer vigils.
We came in for an order earlier to print a poster for a vigil tonight. Yes. For somebody that
The entitlement. Yeah, and that woman got fired. And I hope she files a Class A action lawsuit against Office Depot. I really do. I really do. But that woman was wrongfully terminated.
So they say they don't print political propaganda. So this is somebody that passed away a couple years ago. That's political propaganda, unfortunately.
That's political propaganda.
Office Depot responded to the video saying the employee's behavior was, quote, unacceptable and insensitive, and apologized to the customer. The company also announced the associate has been fired. And Paul Murrow is still with us. And Paul, we're going to ask you questions as well. I'm going to bring it out to the team.
Yeah, so they were forcing her to, do whatever for the honor of Charlie Kirk, and she refused, and she said it's just political propaganda. Like
Propaganda. That's what it is. It's
just
fascism.
because of that, and she gets fired for it, just because of her
Oh,
what
no.
she thinks of him.
What is that? What is that, Bub? What is that?
Oh yes, that's me. This is
What the hell is that?
this
Oh
is
my
a
God.
YouTuber. Hold on. This is a YouTuber by the name of
Oh my
Chantel.
God.
For those of you who follow me on Bubs the Guy, y'all know I kind of do different commentary from
Oh
time to
my
time.
God.
She is also another white woman that's using her privilege. She has been married to a Muslim man for 3 years, and we knew it was fake. And the bitch is now actually getting ready to divorce his ass, and we knew it all along. So I tell white people, if y'all want to understand what white privilege looks like outside of whiteness, girl, watch her ass. If you get upset and pissed off, welcome to our world. Welcome to what we understand. Welcome to what we experience. Okay, so yes,
You
and
said
she's
she was married
balding
to
at the
a
top.
Muslim man and it was fake. You said she was
Yeah,
married to a
because
Muslim man and it was fake?
she is an individual who suffers from a deep lack of self-love. She sat up here and been in abusive relationships. She has put police reports and all type of protective orders against people just to violate them and go back with the person, get caught and shit. She recently married a dude that was Muslim. Decided to move to the Muslim faith because, oh, this man loves me, he cares about me. The man didn't love her. He cheated on her emotionally, talked dog shit about her, and then her man is crazy talking about, oh, he was into like kinky stuff, like fetishes, like scat and all that type of stuff.
Ew.
Yeah, all type of crazy shit or whatever. And he's
Wow.
supposed to be a Muslim man who don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? But again, we're seeing that her marriage was a sham the entire time, and she thought that she was playing it in everybody else's face, except her and her chins are the ones that are going through the bullshit right now. So that's kind of how I feel about America right now. Like, baby, America, y'all looking like a bald-headed Benjamin Button egg hatchling or something right now. So
Okay. So I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this last video, and then we can weigh in on that. Oh my God.
A lot of people are going to be saying Happy Juneteenth. It should not be a federal holiday, and I'm on my way to work. Have a good day.
There are different types of microaggression. There's micro assaults. Those can be like explicit but subtle actions.
Larger than that, Charlie.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Chang. I live as a capitalist. Okay? I live when I
Those micro insults.
About 2/3 of all black youth will be raised without a stable father around. And I know it's crazy, right?
Micro invalidations.
Say what? Say the word.
The N-word. I'm not going to say it on this public platform, but people say it to me all the time.
It derogatorily.
Yes.
No, I think you're lying.
Dismissals of the other. And it often negates the experiences of marginalized individuals.
Jolly.
I mean, again, I want to repeat what I said before. We know who Charlie Kirk is. Donald Trump and those on the right can do what they do best, and that is attempt to rewrite history right in front of our face. This isn't the first time they've done it. They do it over and over and over again. They don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. They're trying to paint Charlie Kirk as, and you heard Trump in his speech he gave, this is a Christian man. He's at peace with his maker now. This is just appealing to Christian nationalism is what it's doing. Charlie Kirk was a hate-filled man. Again, I can simultaneously tell you he's a hateful man and condemn the violence that killed him. And to the pastor's point, you said, when will we wake up? I want to remind everyone that this country did not wake up when over 20 kids were killed at Sandy Hook Elementary, when kids were murdered in mass in Uvalde, Texas, while 300 police officers stood outside using the hand sanitizer. This country hasn't woken up when kids die daily in school. And while I wish this country would wake up to the reality of gun violence, but it's not exactly breaking fucking news. Listen, the only people that need to wake the fuck up is the right. The same people that are saying that this has been incited violence by everyone else are the ones that protect the guns. We've been screaming, protect children, not guns, for how many years? Listen, I condemn this violence. This is not the answer. I'm a nonviolent, civil disobedient type of guy. I'm a veteran. I've seen what violence becomes, and I don't wish it on anyone. And I've spoken for peace for many years now. I'm well documented in that regard. This should never have happened. But let's quit pretending like now the right's going to wake up to the reality of gun violence. No, the right has already made their position clear. Their position is Charlie Kirk's a martyr and the radical left did it. This is not true. And they're painting this, picture of Charlie that's not true. So once again, we're in misinformation, disinformation, propaganda campaign from the right. That's what we need to address. What do we do about that?
Now, speaking of the bigotry and the racism, this is Charlie Kirk on some of the most high-profile and accomplished people of color, Black people in this country, if not the world. Here he is.
Yeah, that's the point, Simone Biles. You're representing your nation, you're selfish sociopath. I just said she's probably the greatest gymnast of all time. She's also very selfish, she's immature, and she is a shame to the country.
LeBron James is a self-interested, narcissistic, and we know he's not very smart. LeBron James chronically cheats on his wife, obviously. He's an NBA player.
Because of DEI, it begs the question, when you see a Black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic Black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? It almost creates thought patterns that are not necessarily wholesome. Black America was getting richer, they were getting stronger, and families were largely still put together before the Great Society, Voting Rights Act, and Civil Rights Act. 60 years later, Black America is in a worse position. I'm not saying it's because of the Civil Rights Act. I'm not saying it's because of the Voting Rights Act, but somewhere something went awry. I can name at least a dozen people more deserving in the 20th century of a federal holiday than MLK. The reason we talk about race so much is because we have a federal holiday to a guy that talked about race all the time. We celebrate the Civil Rights Act more than the American founding. Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course, that's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course. Oh no, imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson. They think this is persuasive. They think, as they kind of now reveal that I'm only here because of anti-white, anti-Asian forced discrimination policies. That turned me into a bitter, resentful activist that hates white people.
First, talk about how Charlie Kirk did not complete college. Charlie Kirk dropped out of college. Charlie Kirk wasn't the one that wasn't smart enough to complete college. And he's addressing Black women who, which, by the way, is the single highest educated demographic in America. So Black women specifically are the highest educated demographic in America. So how ironic that a guy who couldn't complete college is attacking the highest educated demographic in America. Why? Because he's jealous. Because he couldn't do what these Black women could do. He couldn't accomplish a fucking third of what they accomplished. So he's on here, trash talking them. This is what mediocre white men have done historically. When we see Donald Trump in the White House right now talking about how he's a martyr and he's a good guy, this is what white supremacy has done historically. Let's erase the black leadership in this country and let's elevate the white leaders. Our history books are nothing more than a romantic fiction novel where all the heroes just so happen to be white. That's America. This is America. What we're watching happen in real time is America. And you know why? Because we've never held white supremacy accountable in this country. That's who Charlie Kirk is. Charlie Kirk is a result of unfettered white supremacy and the unmitigated caucasity of mediocre white men.
But we are here to show you who Charlie Kirk was and whether it was appropriate for the president of the United States to sit in the Oval Office and say that he's going to, he ordered flags at half staff, and now saying that he's going to give him posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And folks are crying for empathy. Folks are saying, have some empathy for Charlie Kirk and for his family. This is what Charlie Kirk, again, this is Charlie Kirk in his own words. This is what he said about empathy.
I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but
there's a longer one than that. But what do you think? I mean, you're muted, Jolly.
My bad.
His own words come back really to tell you who he is.
Well, I just want to say that, part of being a father is raising children in a country that seems to not know how to move forward. We keep going backwards. We continue this perpetual cycle of rewriting history, changing facts. The misinformation, disinformation, propaganda machine are just churning out this stuff in real time. And you have all the receipts. You're playing the receipts right here of who Charlie Kirk definitely was. Charlie Kirk, if you watch him, he takes pride in these shock jock takes that he puts out or put out. And he does that because, he knows that he's going to elicit emotion. Yeah, right. He knows that. He knows he's going to elicit emotional response out of people. He knows what he's saying is hateful and attacks marginalized communities. He knows that and takes pride in that. So any rewriting of that is just another example of how this country cannot seem to hold white supremacy accountable. Like you said, how do I feel as a veteran, him given the Presidential Medal of Freedom? It was already given to Rush Limbaugh. Is there really any value left in such a medal? Once you devalue things like that, is there value left in them? Again, I want to point out, Donald Trump is trying to make him a martyr. He said the word martyr in his little speech, and he's making this out to be a leftist. Don, we don't even know who did it yet. So how are we already talking about? Yeah, so how are we already talking about? And I won't talk to it right now, but how are we already talking about this is a radical left issue? This is number one, a way to try to accelerate violence in this country, because number two, the Epstein files left a crack in MAGA's armor, and they're losing political capital. The American people have been standing up against what's happening. We are taken to the streets. We're protesting and we're speaking out. We're not buying it. This nonviolent civil disobedience has been working across the country. And Donald Trump and all those on the right know that their plan is failing and that we're not going to sit back and let them rig the 2026 election. We're not going to let them gerrymander. We're going to fight fire with fire and gerrymander in blue states. And all these things are happening, and they're losing their political capital. So this has given them the opportunity to accelerate violence in this country as a way to maintain the power that they feel that they're losing.
Charlie Kirk on white privilege and testosterone.
Racist myth that is rooted in bigotry, trying to classify people based on their skin color. If you are a racist, you have something to apologize for. If you're a white person who is not a racist, you have nothing to apologize for. I do think that there is a direct correlation between someone's testosterone and their politics. I would love to have a study done on this, on young men The lower their testosterone, the more likely they are to be Democratic. Well, free speech is our birthright as Americans. When you have free speech, we're going to get closer to the truth, closer to the best way to govern, closer to the best polity for the country. The influence of DEI have actually inverted the piety away from the promise of what MLK said.
And that was him yesterday at the rally. Just real quick, producers, I don't know if we played it in the pre-show or then did we play what he said about George Floyd? Yeah, have we played that?
No, we haven't played it yet.
We haven't. Okay, so we'll do that next. So there's no white privilege. Charlie Kirk reminded me a little bit of Candace Owens. Do you know what I mean? Talk fast, but doesn't. But you're like, well, I'm not sure of what you're saying, but just fast talkers.
Well, Candace Owens used to be with USA. And so that's their brand. And it's funny that in the beginning of that clip you just played, he said white privilege is just something to classify people by race, which is conveniently overlooking that the white race was created right here in the good old US of A in 1676 after Bacon's Rebellion as a way to prevent poor people from uprising against the rich aristocrats. So they separated poor people by race by convincing white people, which is a race they made up, that you might be poor, but at least you ain't black. So stop joining the black population as a way to uprise against us rich people, because you too can be like us one day if you just work hard. And from 1676 to 1776 to 2025, this very racist ideology in America has continued through that classification of the white race. So this is what I find so ironic about Kirk and all these people. They literally conveniently spin history. Like he brought up affirmative action earlier when attacking black women, while conveniently overlooking the fact that the reason that existed was because they didn't allow black people into universities before that. We conveniently overlooked the reason that it was white people's inability to accept non-white people that required it. So then to spin that and say that it excludes white people is professional level gaslighting.
White is not a race, right? I mean,
that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, white is not a race. It was something that was invented here in America, yes. And also black is not a race. Both of them are a collective here in the United States.
It has to, and if they do this, they create this image of what is the left. And this is what I said yesterday, Don, and I'm glad you brought this up, because I really want the opportunity to repeat something I said on a video yesterday. When this
let me play this. Let me play this, and then you can say
okay. I got to remember.
I mean, I'm looking at Politico.com. I'm looking at the New York Times. I'm looking at all these places, and there's a little bit of mention here. For example, Politico says top Republicans reject any link between GOP rhetoric and Paul Pelosi assault. Of course you should reject any link. Why is the Republican Party, why is the conservative movement to blame for gay schizophrenic nudists that are hemp jewelry makers breaking into somebody's home, or maybe not breaking into somebody's home? Why are we to blame for that exactly? And why is he still in jail? Why has he not been bailed out? By the way, if some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco or the Bay Area wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out. I bet his bail's like $30,000 or $40,000. Bail him out and then go ask him some questions.
Anyway, Jolly, Peach is upset that I interrupt you. Can you? Jolly, not a friend. Chill out. Go on. Go ahead.
Plus, we got to keep the show moving. And I appreciate that. Well, I'll say two things. First of all, to what he just said, why should the GOP be responsible for this? Oh, by the way, go bail him out. Like, which is it, bro? But what I was going to say was, when this type of violence that happened yesterday, when one person takes it in their hands to use violence as an answer, then what happens is the temperature gets turned up in the country and violence becomes, higher. And every single time in America when that happens, the communities that are most at danger are marginalized communities. People that look like me are less in danger. Here's why. It's exactly what you were just saying a moment ago. And that is that what they do on the right is they paint this picture of what the left is. The left is lesbian, gay, queer, trans. The left is black, the left is brown. If you look like me and you don't know my political ideology, I'm Republican coded. You're going to assume that I'm one of your Republican allies, and I'm in less danger in this heightened, violent environment that was now created by this act of violence. This is why I condemn violence. When we condone violence, when violence becomes the answer and not nonviolent civil disobedience and conversation, then all we do is further marginalize and further endanger communities that are already being marginalized by the very white supremacy that created it all. This is my point. So, notice how he said gay, schizophrenic, but these are dog whistles. Hey, this is what the left is. The left is a bunch of gay, trans, black, brown, queer. That's what they do. And if you believe that long enough, then anybody you believe to be in one of those categories is now your enemy. They're making this us versus them thing. And us that they're talking about is cishet white men.
Y'all think about that.
I have a whole list. Like this dude that was like again, the man that was talking about Martin Luther King, the man that was talking about Martin Luther King and all that other stuff. But yet, I mean, this man was nothing but a fucking hypocrite. Like he is a freaking lunatic. He is. He's a freaking lunatic. He was a freaking lunatic. Not only that, he's talking about white. He's talking about and he was talking about a black man that was a narcissist. No, you're a narcissist, dude. You're the one that's a narcissist. The thing is how, and you're talking about black people. Well, you if you're white, then you have nothing to apologize for. If you are not racist or anything like that, then you have nothing to apologize for. I mean, of course, there's nothing to apologize for. But the thing is, we as black people, we actually had to go through all this other shit like slavery and all this other shit, and then all this the history of this, and we're still going through this now. We're still going through this now. So I don't understand that. And there's more to it. So you're telling me a man that has no testosterone is a Democrat. That's what bothers me. So you can't speak your mind. So if you can't speak your mind of what's different views of whatever you see, you're a Democrat.
Well, basically what he's saying is, y'all, they're facts. That's basically what he's saying. You're weak men, which makes you facts. That's basically what he's saying. He didn't come out right out and say it, but that's what they equate Democrats to. They equate Republicans to being masculine and strong and tyro, whatever. But they've always equated Democrats as being weak and feminine, and basically they really.
And how can we be friends with white people that white people don't want to be friends with us? They don't like us. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? So all you're doing is creating more problems than what it needs to, because those white people does not want us as their allies, and you know this. You got the KKK, you got the Ku Klux Klan, you got the freaking skinheads, you got all these people that have children that teach this rhetoric. And whatever you do, if it's a disagreement, no, I just don't like him. He's a nigger. He's this, he's that, and all that bullshit. Are you serious right now? No, you're a narcissist.
Yep.
You're a narcissist.
Yep. The narcissist trying to call somebody else a narcissist. A narcissist, that's he's gaslighting.
And now you're trying to brainwash the people that have masculine energy to go on your side so that they can be dumb and create more confusion so that no one will know what really happened. So you can erase history of all the leaders back in the day. That's your idea. That's the role that they play. To delete everything so that the next generation won't remember or know what was going on back in the day. Is that it? I guess that's the idea. So that as masculinity, I wish you would motherfucking think outside or I'm gonna beat you up. And I'm a conservative. Because that's basically what it is. It's forced mind control of the next generation.
Miss Stevie? Miss Stevie, you there?
Miss Stevie.
Miss Stevie, did she already fall asleep?
I heard that bed squeak, so I think she is.
Go ahead, Bubs. Okay, go ahead, Bubs. What you
No,
got?
I'm gonna keep mine short because, I mean, basically, there's so much evidence right here in front of our faces, and I think we as people just have to realize that, in the words of Michael Jackson, they don't really care about us. They simply want to use us as scapegoats for their own shit. And for me, for us to have this level of awareness, especially in this information age, there should be no excuse. If they win, it's because we were too afraid to fight back. Like, we're the ones fighting for our lives. Their superiority, their supremacy, their privilege is being threatened. And again, of course, accountability is going to feel like a threat when you're privileged all the time. You're used to having things your own way. When Charlie Kirk was sitting there talking about, oh, well, these black women are not educated and stuff like that. Sir, let's not act like there's a bunch of white people who are in these prestigious schools, not because of their logic or their intellect, but simply because of the money they come from. So again, like, these individuals are opening up a can of worms and are playing games or cashing checks that their mouths actually can't cash. And we ain't talking about physically or monetarily. We're talking about spiritually and emotionally. These people do not care, and they want to get to the one place where they know they can reign supreme in, which is death and destruction. I encourage everyone to watch the second Purge movie, where it was about those two elected officials, Republican versus Democrat. The Democrat was getting attacked and shit. I also want y'all to watch the first Purge, which is the third installment, where the first Purge started on an island somewhere in New York with black people, and they had to use white supremacy to stoke the flames to start the whole Purge thing every year. I also encourage y'all to watch Civil War with Kirsten Dunst in it. Okay, it literally shows what could possibly happen in the next 3 years with us versus them, because they made it that way. Like, no shade. One of the forefathers for Project 2025 literally said, the left, no, said something along the lines of, excuse me, this second Civil War, this American Revolution, will remain bloodless if the left allow it. So the left is already the weak punk ass bitches who don't do shit but cry and stuff like that. But now they're capable of unaliving people. When the Republican Party are the ones that care about guns, there's more guns than there are Americans, and there are more bullets to unalive Americans 3-4 times over.
And they're the most violent.
Exactly, and they don't want to talk about that situation. Since if we're going to talk about gang violence, we can talk about gang violence, but let's also talk about mass shooting that white boys commit, young white boys commit. But y'all don't want to talk about that because they're doing their job.
They're the terrorists within.
They're doing their job, and now those same people. Look, it's a documentary. Lastly, it's a documentary on Netflix, and I think it's called The Family. It talks about how this whole religious Christian right thing happened decades ago. How these people went all around the world talking to different type of evil people and corrupted people and villains and stuff to tell them that God loves you. Not to reform and change your life, but God loves you, so that when the time comes for us to start slaughtering these motherfuckers, we know exactly to call to do our dirty work, so that when accountability comes, we can wash our hands clean and say, hey, that wasn't us. They're the ones that did it. Shit is going to get dark. And black people,
oppressed groups of people, we already know this. We grew up in a heritage where we've been told how to survive the encounter, to deal with racism. We have to do something different. To T for T's point, we just can't talk about it, but we have to talk about it first. But we also got to move past talking. We got to organize. We got to strategize. And this is the time for the queer community to come out and do what they do. Hello, Bayard Rustin, James Baldwin, all those iconic, Angela Davis, all those iconic ass queer voices. Those same energies and spirits are being invoked right now in us, because we're literally getting ready to live this shit that they lived when they was 21 and 31. We're living it, and we have the ability to change it, because, baby, if this is what hell is going to be like, then don't get mad when motherfuckers start joining the hellish energy. Because what they're going to realize is that, baby, y'all are not exempt. It don't matter what white Jesus said or not. These are the same people who feel like they as Christians are being criminalized and villainized and demonized and destroyed. I ain't never seen no gay person walk up inside a church talking about blam, girl, blam, and leave glitter all over the damn walls. Talking about yes. Never.
Blam, girl, blam, blam.
Never. They never had. Never had.
Right.
But these are the same people that when Post nightclub happened, instead of being, oh my God, let's be empathetic, and oh my God, these people lost their lives, it was a sign from God. It was a judgment from God. Okay, then, bitch, will understand, ho, that God is not a respecter of person, which means that your ass on there too. So no matter where you are on the board, all I'm gonna say is, welcome to niggerdom. Welcome to niggerdom.
But here's the kick part. These are the ones that actually shut up the gay club. Twice. 2 clubs. One is in Orlando and the other one was in Washington State or somewhere. And then the pastor was like, yep, that's what they get. Nothing but hell in the club.
It ain't just 2. It's a third one. Shot up the club. The other second one you said, and then the third one, they shot up the club inside them niggas' guts too. In the still of the night. Again, Republicans crashed Grindr.
Right.
Miami Sizzle has never crashed Jack. MLK weekend has never crashed Jack. Memorial Day has never crashed Jack, girl. But the one place where all the freaky deaky hoe ass motherfuckers can do they shit in the dark, bitch, y'all actually destroyed Grindr, bitch. And no shade for all the hackers out there. Why don't you hack, like Queen Stevie said, why don't you use your good skills and hack that place to be able to expose? Because now they're creating a list of people who make fun of Charlie Kirk online, trying to dox him and everything. Well, since this is going to be the case in this bitch, then understand it's across the board and no shade. I'm starting to subscribe to that. I'm wherever you want to be on the board. Wherever you are on the board, I will also be there. And I think more of us need to think like that. There is no way in hell we, especially black people now, oppressed groups of people now, just gonna sit here and let you just let dogs bite us and water hoses turned on us. No, baby. You gonna fuck around, because now the people are going to have no choice but to defend themselves. We shouldn't even be going through this. The government works for us. They are our representatives. It's not the other way around.
Right.
And now you got these rich ass white assholes in positions of power doing all this crazy ass shit. Okay, then. Well, understand that God is watching too, boo.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait if Jesus come back, I can't wait, girl. I can't wait. If Jesus come back, girl, and no shade, shout out to Charlie Kirk. At least his ass was raptured up in the sky. He ain't got to worry about the onslaught that's going to happen. At least he gone. At least he got the good part. At least his shit was quick and swift. Imagine all the shit that other people are going to have to go through. Slow, long, agonizing deaths. Medicaid being removed and revoked from people. Millions of people. People losing their jobs. There's more unemployed people than there are jobs. Food shortages, crop shortages, all this shit. They are literally trying to manifest their own revelations. And the only way they're going to do it is if we allow them to do it in fear, which means that people, oppressed groups of people, no shade, we're going to have to start embracing some of our shadow side and our dark side when it comes down to survival. Because we are operating with people who don't give a fuck about us, who would clap and cheer as we're being hung by the gallows, girl. Like I said, I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale. That one motherfucking Miss Trunchable sister looking bitch on there. Oh, I want to beat her ass so bad.
Oh my God.
Oh, over the knee, right?
No.
Oh my God. I know what you're talking
whoop
about
her.
too.
You know what
Oh
I'm
my
talking about?
God.
You know
Oh,
who I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking
Miss
about.
Trunchable Sister, bitch. I was like, girl, where's the chokey at? Because I'm about to choke this hoe out. But it's
I know.
scary because it's like this is
Oh,
the reality that we
right.
are going to end up in. And for us as Americans to sit up here and act like this will never happen, woe be unto you, because Black Americans know what hell feels like in America. Gay Americans know what it feels like in hell, as far as hell in America. Now it's time for white people to understand that. And when they had a temper tantrums, all we gonna do is just look at them and tell them, first of all, shut the fuck up, okay? And learn something and actually be useful, because your privilege ain't gonna get you out of this one.
The unthinkable is always possible. It's always possible. But I'm gonna say this about this video, okay? We heard it out of Charlie Kirk's own voice. The hateful, evil rhetoric he was spewing out of his own mouth, okay? So then why should I have empathy and sympathy for that type of mindset or that type of person, okay? Why should I lose brain cells and worry and pray for someone, for his soul, or for someone like him? You know, when he didn't have that type of compassion or empathy or sympathy for any of us. Okay, fuck him. Okay, fuck him. So bye, Charlie. That's how I feel. Bye, Charlie. And then Trump, you still with us? Okay. So that's
Sabri,
how I feel. Bye.
yeah, Sabri is saying that Charlie is like in limbo, like he's in between worlds. So he's gonna stay here for the
Don't
next
nobody
4
care.
years.
Don't nobody care. He ain't in no limbo. He's right where he's supposed to be at, down there in the pits of hell with Satan.
Well,
He
hey.
ain't in no limbo.
They ain't no limbo.
He ain't in no limbo. He's right down there where he's supposed to be. He's right down there where he wish all the rest of us would go, okay?
Yep, limbo.
He got his wish. He got his wish. He talked about guns and people have to you got to sacrifice some people and you know, and some deaths and all this other type of stuff. Well, then he was sacrificed. He's their sacrificial lamb.
This man was so terrible. I mean, he created nothing but manipulation across the world with his rhetoric and stuff that made people. I don't know how he did it, but it worked. I don't know how he did it, but it worked where these people went over to his side or something because of what he said by mentioning masculinity, and it's probably scared men to go on their side. I don't know what the heck happened, but that he created so much damage. The damage has already been done. Even if he's dead, the damage has been finished until these men realize what the hell what the hell they have done by going on his side. Like it's going to be a hell of a lot of destruction in the family of their ideas, where women are going to leave their asses, or something's going to happen, or there's going to be a fight in the home. The household is going to be terrible because there's going to be nothing but arguments. There's so many arguments that is actually horrendous, because you're going to hear a lot of stories of that from all over the place in America. That's what's going to happen because of his rhetoric on that freaking YouTube. That's exactly what's going to happen. And you know what? It's unfortunate. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that we're here in 2025 going back to 1918, 1920, 1925, 1945, 1950, 1984. We're going back to all of this shit. The next generation is thinking like this, just like what the people thought like that before, because of the manipulation of grown parents, because of the fear of gay people, their own white people too on their other side. It's going to take another freaking 30 years to go back to doing research. And we got phones. That's the saddest part about it. We got phones and freaking computers that people have always existed. That's the saddest part about it. So now they don't care.
So Miss Stevie, you got any closing comments before we get out of here? You have anything to say? There she
Yes,
goes.
I'll say this. I'm going to say this. Like Deshaun said, white supremacy, white male fragility will be the destruction of America. And the reason why is because they have listened to the likes of Charlie Kirk, Jesse Waters, Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, and all of these podcast bros who are out here saying, well, you need to put women in their place. The blacks need to go back to the fields. So when they say DEI or woke or they don't know, they're low IQ, because that's something that Donald Trump would say is a low IQ. When they make comments like that, that is low key them sliding in the N word. That is them sliding in the N word. And they're being loud, proud, and upfront now that they have someone who is a martyr for it. They're making this man to be out a martyr. But see, what gets me so angry is the fact that y'all could compare this white supremacist to someone who fought for equality for all. How dare y'all tarnish the name and legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and compare him to a white supremacist when he fought for equality for everyone? He would not stand for this. And you put him on a picture near JFK. JFK was for everybody and wanted equality for everyone. How dare you spit on their legacy with this piece of shit? Because that's exactly what Charlie Kirk was. The DEI comment, the comments about DEI and affirmative action, we all know that affirmative action benefits white women more than it does women of color and black women. It benefits white women more. And you know that. So for you to sit up here and say, well, we didn't just get it because of that. Yeah, whatever. But Charlie Kirk is long gone. And as they said, if it's war that they want with us because we are at war with them, it's not them. It's what did Jesse Waters say? We're at war with them. No, no, no. The war is already amongst your own. So y'all see how the empire is crumbling and how the ancestors are paying attention? That's what's going on. The white empire is crumbling down. They are in shambles. They don't know what to do, who to turn to. And the reason why is because Donald Trump is losing his shit over the Epstein files. These victims that just recently came out and spoke against him. And I stand with these women. We all do. And you're doing everything possible to deflect. But the truth will prevail. Y'all doing all this shit now, raising all this chaos, causing all of these problems for black and brown people in this country and disabled people and many other marginalized groups. But guess what? Your time is coming. Trust, because the revolution is happening. Now, I don't know how the hell we gonna get this fat piece of shit up out of the White House come 2026 to 2028, because this motherfucker said he is not leaving. He has already got his 2028 merch, which is illegal. You're not supposed to have that in the White House. It's in the Constitution. Already putting out Trump 2028 merch, and we're seeing commercials. Now, to the Republicans in Congress that sat up here putting your re-election commercials out and everything, what makes y'all think y'all gonna get voted the fuck back in after what you did to your constituents? Turning them away at town halls, not wanting to listen to what they're saying. You're listening to Moses, MAGA Mike Johnson, Poindexter. Y'all are listening to him because he told y'all not to hold no more, town halls. Y'all listen to him. Because that's Donald Trump's lapdog. Just like Donald Trump is Putin's bitch. And when bitch, what did Putin say when he came in that White House? Putin owned you and you couldn't do a damn thing about it. You got on Truth Social and you crashed the fuck out. When all three of those dictators got together, you didn't know what to do. Bend over, motherfucker, and take your girdle off. Let me hold them cankles. You didn't know what to do. Putin came in there and bitch slapped you and said, bitch, you work for me. You didn't know what to do. He came in there and he showed you who was the real dictator. What did Jasmine Crockett call you? She called you a Timo Hitler. And that you are. Nobody's afraid of you.
Are you
But
waiting for him
Putin...
to fall off that plane?
Oh no! At the third story window, whatever happens to him, because you know they do that over there in Russia. But oh yeah, Putin got your ass in check. You can't move unless he tells you to move. Netanyahu too. He got you wrapped around his finger. Crazy meet crazy. You met your match, Donna, and you got on Truth Social. You was popping your shit because all three dictators got together. I want to see you say it to his face, though. You might wind up with something in your food, and it damn sure won't be X-Lax.
You know what's so weird? You know that Temu, you know what I mean? It belongs to the China company. They was gonna stop it. Well, it seemed like they didn't stop it because this is my shirt right here that I just got today. You know, Xi Jinping or whatever his name is, do not care about Trump. He's like, I'm gonna send my stuff over there,
Is it
whoever
a
wants
dragon
it.
shirt?
Huh?
Is it a dragon shirt?
No, my shirt is upstairs. It's the Scorpion shirt from Mortal
Oh shit, you
Kombat.
remember Dragon the Scorpion. Goddamn.
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. Let me show you.
Bubs, you got
Deshaun
any
got his...
comments before we get out of here?
No, the only thing I gotta say is Deshaun got his damn shirt from over in Asia, despite the bullshit. Alvin keep talking about these long ding dongs he saw when he was gone in his travels. You know, just hey. But just keep black people, oppressed groups of people in this country, keep loving yourself first, get to an overflow state and operate in empathy, because all this is doing is just exposing the American people. It's exposing those who are afraid. It's exposing those who are ignorant. But most importantly, it's exposing those who actually care about humanity. That white dude on the Don Lemon show is an example of America that I would love to live in as far as white people being able to hold themselves accountable. So we need more of that. And as long as that is happening, I do have hope, but it's going to get dark. And black people, we need to find a way to deal with that dark and transmute that shit. Maybe we need to get back to understanding what our African roots were as far as worship or connection. Because white Jesus ain't doing nothing for us. No shade. So we have to do something different. But keep educating, keep being vigilant, keep looking out for your fellow brother and sister, and keep calling the bullshit out. The only thing that will reign in this bitch at the end of the day is truth. And truth, don't give a fuck who you are, it's gonna be, can you handle it? Is the question.
Sean, you got any closing arguments in this courtroom before we gavel out of here? Did he hear me? I guess not. Deshaun?
You're muted, Deshaun.
Oh, did I put myself on mute?
Yeah, you put yourself on mute. You got any closing
I
arguments
was
before we
talking.
close this courtroom?
Okay,
Before we
so
get out of here, what's your closing arguments?
yeah, we need to keep fighting and stuff, or otherwise we're gonna be slaves, like for real. Like we gotta learn from this. If we don't learn from this, y'all, because remember, those people that was actually, back in, they actually voted for Trump just for us to not be higher up, because they don't want us to drive their cars. They don't want us to be around them. They don't want our black asses around them. It's like, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? Like the Asians and the whites voted for Trump, even though they got voted off by Trump. Just to let you know that. Just because we were smarter and black women was actually educated and all that other stuff. Did you know that this year a lot of black women was let off? Like they were laid off? Like literally. You need to look it up.
Yeah,
Black
we
women
know.
was laid off.
Yeah, we know.
300,000 to be exact.
300,000 black women was actually laid off alone this year. So like I
So
said, we need to definitely learn from this.
So Deshaun, tell everybody how they can find you and reach you on your channel. You got an
Yeah,
echo.
you can actually find me.
You got an echo. You got an echo.
Okay, you can actually find me on YouTube, which is Deshaun Stallings. You can actually follow me on TikTok. That's my other name, Deshaun Stallings. You know what I mean? You can also follow me on Instagram if you want to. That's my name too. You can follow me there. And that's it.
Uh-oh. I think Alvin muted himself.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm sorry. Miss Stevie, I was trying to get rid of the echo and I didn't know where it was coming from. Miss Stevie, where can everybody find you on your channels?
Style by Stevie _daytime on Instagram and on YouTube. It's the same thing, Style by Stevie Daytime. And we'll be back with new episodes this week. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck Charlie Kirk, and fuck the Republicans. And we're going to continue this fight. It's going to be a long fight ahead. And I can tell you that for sure. So don't give up. Remain in there. It's just going to take a little bit longer. But in order for us to get justice and equality for all, we have to keep up this fight. So it's going to take all of us. Just keep our heads together, keep encouraging, educating, and keep being on the front lines. Don't bend the knee to fascism because they always come back for something else. Trust me, they have a very insatiable craving for power, and the Supreme Court and everything is giving Donald Trump what he wanted. So you can't give them what they want. So just keep going. It's going to take a little bit longer in this fight, but I just want you to stay encouraged and just know that you're not alone, and there are people out there fighting right on the front lines with you. So,
And I think we lost Bubs. We lost Bubs, but I think you can find Bubs on all platforms under Bubs the God, YouTube, IG, Rumble. What is it? TikTok. And I think he's on Twitter too, but I'm not for sure. But I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you, Kimani's Way, for popping in here and commenting. You know, we had Kenneth Tukes. Kenneth Tukes was in here today. And what's we have in here? We got Tanya. We have Abraham from Nigeria was over and he popped up in here today several times. Tanya. And I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Miss Stevie. I want to thank Deshaun and Bubs for participating in this panel discussion. I appreciate you all. And everybody, thanks for joining us today. Okay. On Tit for Tat, Dis for That. I mean, Tit for Tat, Dis in That. And excuse my voice. I'm a little hoarse and from being over in Nigeria. A lot of dust and sand and stuff got down in my lungs.
Mm-hmm.
Recovering, I got a little congested, so I've been like that for a few days. But I'm getting better. Excuse my raspy voice. Appreciate everybody for joining us. And Miss Stevie and Deshaun and Bubs, I'll see y'all over in the Short Stack Revolution in our chat.
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay, everybody have a good night.
You too.
Bye, world.